shit. We're live. Oh shit. That's all the thing I'm gonna do with the rhyme.
I was like, man, freestyle.
Real quick. Yeah. I also have an adult beverage.
This isn't adult.
White
you do
Claw.
have-
The
White
White Claws are
Claw.
whack, dude.
White Claws are delicious. You get out of my
Try truly iced teas.
meh.
They're
You
so
need
much
everything
better.
you can get, Randy. You have been struggling with a storm, so you need.
Oh, I'm so tired. I don't know why you brought it up. I was feeling good, and then you brought it up, and it reminded me how tired I am from today's
Randy,
craziness.
what's on your shirt? You usually just stamp a little, like, yeah,
Flood water.
It's
just a
Link.
little higher.
That's
Okay.
Master Chief.
Incorrect.
It looks like a silhouette of Master Chief's helmet, and I was like, you don't even like
It
Halo
kind of
that
does.
much.
Kinda
What?
Does at first glance.
How do you see this?
That
That's
looks like an
wind.
inverted
That's just wind.
reflection off a giant helmet.
It's-
giant helmet.
Okay, fine. 1v1
clearly wrong.
red and smash immediately. He knew what the shirt was. Squatchy, was that allergy meds you held up?
It is, what's it called? It's basically Prilosec.
Isn't that what you
oh,
can't
that
not get
Brazil?
an erect? You can't stop your erection.
You can't
pri-
stop your erection?
it's for acid reflux.
Oh, priapism. I think I'm
You
thinking
were
of
way
priapism.
off, sir.
The erection of the
Priapism.
stomach.
That's it. Yeah, well, you just have a
Erection of your
permanent
stomach
erection.
acid.
Jeez
You ever hear about-
Louise.
There was that story about the guy who, like, ran out of space to inject heroin, so he injected it like into his gooch, and then he had like a 4-year erection, and it was agony. Yeah, priapism.
Well, guys, that's how we're starting.
Anymore.
I don't even know what he did to fix it, so I can't tell you. Maybe he just ran out of erection. I don't know.
How do you run? You know what?
No, for life. I mean, for life. Yeah.
You know, to
Well,
your
how much blood flow do you think he was getting down there
Oh.
after you did that?
Yeah, constantly lightheaded.
Okay,
He's
so
just swooning all day. Anyway, all right.
before we start the podcast, you know, we decided to do this live stream on YouTube thing. And then and I've been talking about it all day, right? And then right when I'm about to go live, Leo's like, yo, I don't think this is a good idea.
I don't think this is a
Okay,
good
you're gonna
idea,
say this
Randy.
completely without context.
I don't think that.
I don't think you should go in there,
You
Randy.
know, here's what happened. Here's what happened. Randy's like, I think because I have the same kind of brain that a cow has, we should start streaming on YouTube. We should just
First
switch
of
over."
all,
And
what?
I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I understand you got a smooth brain situation going on. It's okay. But let me
Smooth
gear you back towards real life. So that's what I did.
What an insult.
And then what did you
Fucking
say?
Smooth brain over here.
Fucking smooth brain.
Oh, that's all.
First of all, that I'm hearing. Hold on, I'm hearing
Oh,
really
yeah, I'm
shitty
hearing that.
audio.
It's that wheezing sound.
It's
again.
that wheezing sound. Chris, can you mute yourself for a second?
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's Chris's. It's Chris's.
What? How did we just realize this now?
God damn it, Chris.
Do I need to? Let me just try and turn it up a little bit.
Turn it up.
Yeah. How have we got 3 people in here and 1 person in audience in Riverside?
It's because Corey's thing is being weird.
Oh, okay. How about now?
That's good.
It still
Okay.
shows me as.
What did you do?
I just turned it up again.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Just-
We'll fix it in post.
Well, first off, I came into the stream. He's like, can't hear you. You gotta fix this, reset. And then he realized that he didn't have.
But no, but
something.
it still wasn't. It still was showing up as. That's why I thought it was. Anyway,
Oh yeah, no, that's a different.
point
thing.
of the story
Oh yeah, go on.
So
Tell
there's-
us the point of the story, Smooth Brain.
is that there's nobody here right now.
Yeah. We decided the elephant in the room is we decided to go on the YouTube route, and we have Red. Good to see you, Red.
Red, what's up?
Red.
Thank you for being here.
And Red.
And wait, it actually can. You can actually see who's here,
Oh, that's dangerous.
and it says Red and Super Average Gaming. Great.
Wait, does it show that? Does
It's
it show
never
that on there?
accurate. You can't like it's not accurate on Twitch either. Like, there's 7 people here. It's Stream Elements, yourself, and then one other person.
Yeah, no, it just says that it's me and
What?
Red. Sick.
Well, I mean, I know for a
I'm there
fact.
as well.
I know for a fact, all three of us, aside from you, Randy, are currently have it open.
You know
so-
what? It's totally fine. I don't at this point. We're like testing things out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. And like we'll see how this goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we do. And before you start recording, I just want to give a shout out to my current name brethren, Glover, who I used in Instagram's promotion today. Are you guys familiar with Glover?
Glover from
Yeah,
Smash Brothers.
No, the
Glover-
N64
Smash Brothers.
character.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah.
mean- You're thinking Master Hand.
I'm thinking Master Hand.
I guess kind of similar actually,
Yeah.
but it struck me as like one of those mascots that is in that weird place between like being after the 90s, like had all the radical mascots, but without like any character to him. He's literally a fucking glove.
Yeah.
He's a glove. That's the entire thing. I never got it. And it was while I was looking at it today, I thought that white glove, there's only one, if someone pulls a white glove on, you know where that hand's going. What a
Glove, no
just
love.
That terrible glove, no love. That is a terrible
The
mascot.
glove didn't fit.
Yeah.
The glove don't fit. You must put the tip in. Okay, let's get started on this, huh?
I was
do
trying
it.
to make an OJ reference,
I did.
and then you put the tip in OJ.
What did he do?
Drink
when-
juice.
when-
He
Yeah, I was
put the
gonna talk
tip
about
in
juice.
several times, very forcibly. Oh god.
Oh, wow.
tip
Glad this
of,
isn't on Twitch.
Okay,
Jesus.
we're starting
Can you
the
get
recording
copyright
now.
Striked on.
6,
five.
3, 2, 1.
1488.99. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Super Average Gaming, a podcast, episode number. Oh fuck, what episode number is this? 44.
44.
44. Welcome.
44.
This is a
that
Super
right?
Average Gaming. We've done this 44 times, and I know what I'm doing because I'm your host, Randy Ramos Jr. And today we are here with Corey Pike,
Hi.
Leo Ramos,
Hello.
Christopher Gower.
Join us every week to watch how uneven Leo's background posters are. It's staggering.
Thanks.
Hey
a
man, I
lot.
tried so
You
goddamn hard. I tried so
jerk.
goddamn hard to get that to fit right, and it just wouldn't do it. And I said, "Cool," and then I just left it there.
Yeah,
I never would have noticed, so thank you so much.
I
Yeah,
would.
I also don't think anyone else has. I don't even think my girlfriend, who lives in this place, has noticed.
You gotta
I-
fix that.
Yeah, I
That's not
didn't.
happening. It's staying like that. It's just gonna be like that.
Well,
You know what?
Life goes on.
You know what? Here's the thing: is that we're currently live on YouTube.com/SuperAverageGaming. This is our second stream on there. We're trying something a little differently. We're gonna see how it goes. Currently, it's going okay. Yesterday we streamed on here. It was a fun time, and then I had to end the stream because our power went out. So
Well, that sounds like a terrible experience on YouTube.
Sounds like-
Sounds
no, it was like.
God ended his stream.
It was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna be ending stream soon. Let me just finish this boss. And then like the boss kept kicking my ass, and I was like, all right, one more time. And then God was like, or the universe was like, yeah, you're done. And then just
Yeah.
cut out the power.
Yeah, you got sent to bed early without dinner.
It was like, yeah, enough.
without
Enough's
finishing your
enough.
Boss battle.
It's like God himself was playing you in real life, and he was like, "Okay, one more time,"
Yeah.
and then you were like, "Okay, one more time," and he was like, "No."
No, we gotta turn this off. We gotta turn this off.
It's time.
But speaking of
It
which,
is time.
the reason that we lost power is because there was a tropical storm here on the East Coast in the New York, New Jersey area, and we got demolished. It was really bad. By me, we just lost power for I think for 15, 20 seconds, and it came right back because our backup generators went on. But like my brother-in-law, his basement and garage were completely flooded. They lost a ton of stuff. Their neighbor's basement also flooded, and they bought a generator, but the generator out of the box wouldn't work. So it was just not a great time for them. But
I feel
yo,
like you need more than a refund if you buy like an emergency device that doesn't work out.
yeah, what the f
Like,
is that
more
about?
Emergency.
Did they need? Was it a gas generator or was it?
It was a
Do you know
gas
any
generator.
details?
Yeah, it was it was crazy. I don't know what the fuck, what was wrong with it, but they're like, yeah, the string doesn't pull, and I was like, what do you mean? And he had it, and the string was fully pulled out, and it wouldn't go back in.
That's annoying.
To be honest, I'm gonna my douchebag brain comes in here, and I think he probably didn't know how to use it. Is my first guess, but still,
Tell him that. Tell him
I
that.
don't know. I
Tell him that
wasn't
I'm well.
like I talked to him.
I'll let him know.
I'll talk to him for a second, and I was like, okay, cool. I have more important things to deal with right now.
Like
but-
your
I don't give a
unsaved
fuck about
game.
your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, my game hadn't saved or anything.
Yeah. I gotta check on my PC. Like the power went out. Like I didn't shut it down properly.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yo, did you guys see? I know I shared this with you guys. Did you guys watch the video of the New York City like subways?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I did
That
earlier,
shit
too.
was
That fucking
crazy.
crazy.
Joe in the chat
Oh,
said
God.
it rained like crazy here in Virginia as well. A lot of flooding, dude. I hope that you're doing okay. Boog said it sounds like Hurricane Charlie fucking blows. Yeah, it was bad. It was insane. I went over there and I helped them like basically sort out all the stuff that like was damaged and destroyed and the stuff they could possibly salvage and whatnot. It was exhausting. It was just overall intense day. It took, and also the ride that usually takes me 30 minutes to get from my house to the city took me 3 hours. It was crazy. The Cross Bronx, which is a highway, and the Major Deegan, which is another highway. I'm told by a police officer friend of mine that it's like he called it a car graveyard because people like got stuck and they just abandoned their cars. And I saw a
away
car.
from the
Yeah, they
car.
were just like, yeah, it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
it's
mean, what are you
crazy.
gonna do? That's like that's what Last of Us looks like.
Yeah, Red said I've pulled one of those pull strings right out of the motor once. That was a chore putting back in. Yeah, so that's basically.
I would. That would be like a fucking mower graveyard. I'd just walk away from that shit. I'd be like, "Yeah, it's
Imagine how you feel afterwards too. 'Cause it's just like you're like, I'm too manly for this. manly
Yeah,
machine."
I'm too. That's exactly what karate said. Too many muscles, Red. Too many
I'm just gonna
muscles.
I'm gonna pull this grass out with my hands now.
Just gonna go in there with a pair of scissors. Okay, jokes aside, we're gonna be jumping to Angie's Corner in just a second, but we are live on YouTube. Again, youtube.com/superaverage-gaming. We're just again testing this out to see how it goes. See if we do a permanent switch. It's not a definite thing just yet, but the people who are in the chat right now, stick around. We have a dope show, and I really appreciate you guys being here. It makes it so much more fun when you guys are here. With that said, let's promote our socials really quick. Instagram, Twitter, at Super Average Gaming, except on Twitter it's spelled a little differently because it didn't allow us to do the. Anyway, the point of the story is go check that stuff out. YouTube.com/Super Average Gaming, Twitch.tv/Raina Jr., Patreon.com/Super Average Gaming. We'll give you more details on all that stuff later. For now, let's jump into Angie's Corner, which is where we
you-
talk about
To interrupt you.
gaming news, aka the stuff my wife doesn't care about. Let me finish the sentence.
Well, I don't think you did the welcome to the Super Average Gaming.
I did
That's
at the
all.
beginning.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
I totally did. I said, welcome to the
wow.
Super Average Gaming Podcast episode.
who's the
Oh, fuck,
dickhead
what
now, then?
episode? What
then
episode
he
is this?
He introduced
I
us all,
said
and
action,
then you.
and then he did it.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't remember that. I thought that was episode 43, but no, good point.
No, it's, yeah.
All right. Well, maybe do that bit again, and then cut all of that of me doing that.
No. I'm not. Because you
well-
know why? Because it adds extra work, and I don't want to do it. So this is staying right in the podcast. Bless you, Squatchy. I think Squatchy might have sneezed or something. I don't know. The point
coughed.
is, oh, you coughed. Okay, fine. Which is the devil's sneeze.
Since COVID. There you go.
Yeah.
You fucking hear a cough, you run away.
You wake up in the middle of the night hot. You're like, fever? Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that video of that guy who's like on like CNN or something and he has to cough and he's like too scared to cough because it's
Yeah.
like it was like mid-pandemic he's like anyways, let's jump into our first article in Angie's Corner, and this is from TheVerge.com, and this is 6 things we learned about the Dead Space remake. I purposely didn't read this article because I wanted to hear this for the first time live on
From
stream.
your own mouth.
Did you
From my
purposely
own
not
mouth.
read another one too? Because I couldn't even view it.
Which other one?
We'll get there.
Is it? It's probably the one the one about China limiting
Yeah, it was the New
gameplay.
York Journal, I think.
Yeah,
But-
it's those fuckers with their subscriptions and bullshit. It's a whole thing. I knew I shouldn't have linked that one. Anyway, this is from the article. When EA announced it was remaking Dead Space, it wasn't really clear what remake meant. Would the company be completely rebooting the beloved space horror series, or would it be more like a remaster that upgraded the original's 13-year-old graphics for the Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and modern PCs? Star Wars Squadron's studio EA Motive offered a little bit more detail in interviews, but it was still hard to gauge gauge what the remake was supposed to accomplish, since compared to remakes of 90s games like System Shock, where designers are updating limited graphics and unfamiliar schemes, Dead Space still feels imminently playable today. Now, the Dead Space remakes developers have filled in some of the gaps. Motive held a live stream Twitch session, and we're on YouTube, hilarious, with members of the studio's creative team showing off extremely early footage demonstrating how the gameplay and level design could work. We still don't have a release date, and we could be very far off from that. I confirmed a few things that will set the new game apart, but it won't necessarily transform it. Isaac Clarke will talk, and he's getting a familiar voice actor. The original Dead Space starred engineer Isaac Clarke as a silent protagonist, but in the game since then, he has been distinctively voiced by actor Gunnar Wright. Today, Wright appeared on EA's live stream to confirm that he's coming back for the remake 2. Cool! Dismemberment is going to be more complicated. Now, I heard a little bit about this.
Wait, what?
Dismemberment, so basically blowing off the alien's limbs
I get it. What
and
do you mean
arms.
complicated? How did I not read this part?
Well, check this out. As my Polygon colleague Joshua Rivera, shout out to Latinos, details, simulated limb severing technology has advanced substantially since 2008. The live stream featured some very early renderings of the game's necromorphs, and they seemed affected by weapons in more detailed and convincing ways. These are still space knife zombies getting shot by plasma, so I won't say realistic. The new system includes limbs whose flesh gets stripped off as you shoot them, helping you gauge, again, I did it again, how much damage you've done. It's got weak points that feel more organic than the original game's big glowing joints. It's got more variety in how a given weapon affects a given necromorph. Dead Space's weapons were readily more varied than they sometimes get credit for. If you go through the original game, and especially the sequel with just a plasma cutter, you're legitimately missing out. But the remake is clearly pulling more effort into meaningfully rebuilding those weapons. Zero gravity actually lets you float. There are no transactions. Allure Infusion is Allure Infusion is coming. So Motive and EA previously hinted that they'd build out Dead Space's story, and today they gave more specifics about what they mean. Quote, "We are not going to change the foundation of the story because the story is really iconic," said creative director Roman Campos Oriola. Ariola? I really don't. I know I'm not saying that right. Quote, "The things we want to enrich in terms of story or narrative, it's really about the bigger universe of Dead Space, etc. So basically, they are making a broader universe for the Dead Space stuff with things to be announced in the future. And also, I think this is the biggest thing. The game aims to flesh out its side characters. The Dead Space remake also aims to provide more depth to the characters around Isaac, including Nicole Brennan, the girlfriend that he spends the game looking for. As Campos puts it, quote, "We want to give you the means to actually look for her, and more than look for her, learn what happened to her during the outbreak," etc., etc. So, Joe, I get it. I fucked up, and I didn't pronounce it correctly, so leave me alone. I'm so sorry. But the point of the story is that Dead Space remake is coming out. Now, granted, we did get a very little snippet of what is to come, but the developers did say this is very early pre-production, so don't judge it. Don't go and be like, "Oh, this looks really bad." Like, fucking duh, looks bad. It's not even close to being done. But fuck, you know what, guys? It's hard to read stuff out loud. You know, the chat's fucking dripping into me right now.
Well, you said Ariola.
Well, you said this person's last name was like
Ariola, yeah.
You essentially just called him, and I'm sure Campos Oriola has gotten that joke their entire life.
Probably.
So,
well, at least since she's been married, or they've been married.
And they're like, "Oh, great."
I'm also
the fucking
drinking.
podcast, right?
Yeah. I'm also drinking White Claw instead of G Fuel, so maybe it's because I'm trashed.
wow.
A quarter of a White Claw.
Yeah.
Is this considered fucking public intoxication?
Yeah.
No, because I'm
Cut him
not
off now.
in the
Cut him off
public.
now.
I can drink while I'm in my home, okay? I want to hear your guys' opinion on this because Dead Space wasn't a huge game for me. I did enjoy playing the first one. I didn't finish the game because I got kind of bored. And I've heard that this is one of the greatest space horror games, or survival horror games of all time. And I'm like,
Is that the only one?
I think.
was it the only one? What do you mean?
I was just making a joke. I don't know if there are. I don't know any
Oh,
other...
sorry. I meant I didn't mean to say spice. Spice. Fucking A. A little pumpkin spice is what Karate just said in the chat. what I meant to say is survivor horror instead of space horror. But
Gotcha.
like it,
Well, there's the Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
yeah. But the point of this is that like I'm looking forward to this. I am pretty hyped about this. I'm excited for it. But and I hate that I have to say but, this is just my opinion. I would rather EA remake other things
Like what?
like NBA Street, Volume 1 and 2.
That's very. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure a very different team though, right? EA Sports.
I don't give a fuck.
You know,
For the
I
past
think-
several weeks, I've been like, I want to replay NBA Street. That'd be super fun. Not once since this game was released, I was like, I want to replay Dead Space.
I
well,
mean,
let's also
again,
think about the amount of people that have said, "I want to play NBA Street Volume 2 as a remake," versus the insane amount of people that would love a Dead Space remake. So,
I don't think that an insane amount of people would love a Dead Space remake. I feel
I
like
think nobody wants a
they're
fucking NBA
doing
Volume 2
it.
stream.
Yeah.
They are
that is
doing
not
it.
true. Go listen to Kind of Funny Games and get their thoughts on EA Big, and we'll see who's in the right here because
No,
I am.
I
You're
think
both wrong.
I think the whole point is that these companies understand, maybe giving them a bit too much credit, but understand the potential audience that is out there for various IPs. that
You
they
right.
bring
You
back.
right.
And they clearly have done enough research where they know there's going to be, based on existing fan base, plus maybe the right time and the way certain games are going down at the moment. I feel like there's been a decent buzz for Dead Space. I never played it originally, other than maybe like 5-10 minutes. I don't think there was a demo, so I'm not sure why, but maybe in a store or something. Was that?
No, go ahead. You finish.
Yeah, no. So I would basically like to play a new version of it. I'm down for that. If it's
Well-
on EA Play, even better. So
Great call. I mean, I'm glad you pointed it out because Joe just said this in the chat as well. Like, I would prefer a Dead Space 4 continuing the
Oh, yeah.
story
Well, that's fair.
with
That's
like
fair.
current current gameplay, graphics, etc., as opposed to a remake. Because I don't think that. I mean, I don't know. Like, jokes aside, I haven't really heard anybody who's like, I really want a Dead Space remake. You know what I mean? Like
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Like going like as an example, like Resident Evil 2, I couldn't stop thinking about, or Resident Evil in general, I couldn't stop thinking about, oh, I really hope that they fucking remake this into like a current game with like current gen graphics. That would be so fucking dope. Like, cause that game was amazing, et cetera, you know? And then they did that with Resident Evil 2 remake, and I was like, this is fucking phenomenal, you know?
So why
And
do you
the-
think
the-
Dead Space is doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. They probably look. Yeah, you're pretty exactly right. But I was just going to say very quickly. Sorry, Scotch. I'll go. But that brings up a really good point where Resident Evil is continually making sequels, right? Dead Space is kind of ground to a halt. So for the existing fans, a remake is like, well, that's cool, but I'd like a continuation. And people like me, haven't really played it, I'd be happy with either. So
Sure.
it may be better that they went for a sequel, for a 4 and restarted a next trilogy rather than going down the same path again. But sorry.
Yeah.
Scott, but,
Well, I was just gonna point out with how Resident Evil's doing. I think it probably
Re-sparked them to hey, we should do something. And so especially with RE2R, where it did so well, I think they figured, hey, let's go that route. I bet you if this does good, maybe we'll see a 4 down the line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
True.
I don't know if
Touche,
they'll do
touche.
1, 2, and 3 all over again and then continue into 4, which is somewhat dangerous because at that point it could potentially fizzle out.
yeah.
But maybe they'll just do 1 and then 4 and then 2 and 5. I don't know, whatever. But I think as long as it does well, we'll see more. Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'd
I'm
like to
looking forward
see-
to it.
I'd like to hear
played it.
Leo's thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'd like to see well, obviously they're making the remake, but I would like to see them make a part 4 after that.
Yeah.
I have not played 2 or 3. I 100% intend to. I never actually beat the first one, but every second I played of it, I fucking loved it. Aside from when I was ready to throw my controller out the window.
Yeah, I feel the
But,
same way. I
but,
feel the same way. Yeah.
And and for whatever reason, just because I have the attention span of a squirrel, I fucking never came back to actually played it. And I super hyped, but this is what's concerning me. It says the lore infusion is coming, and they explain what they're doing with the story. I think they're gonna. I losing faith because. Well, if the original team is working on it and they feel like this is the best way to do it, I think I think they might do okay. But it's okay, Dead Space 1 came out, and then they created Dead Space 2. And now in Dead Space 1, they're going to put ties into Dead Space 2 that
Yeah.
didn't even exist back then when the game originally came out. So they're going to be it's kind of like fan service for people who've already played it. So like if you played the games, you'll already know. But that if you played Resident Evil 7 remake, if you beat the original
Whoa.
game.
Back up. Resident Evil 7 remake.
Sorry, I meant to say Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says Resident Evil. If you played Final Fantasy 7 remake, there's a lot of references to stuff that happened in the game that really only people who played the game would understand. If that was your first time ever playing the game, you're going to see a couple things. You'll see several things that you're just like that either mean nothing to you or you're confused. You're like, why are they even bringing that up? You played the game, you'd be like, oh yes,
yeah.
oh
Yeah, like Easter eggs.
and and
That's not how I took it though. To me, it looks like they're just trying to build the story so it's more in depth, rather than like things like that. And maybe it will be something like that. But like, it just seems like they want to build the story more than what they had before.
The thing,
which could work out. I see that and I'm like, dude, the Dead Space story, it's a good story. It's fucking solid.
just tell me, give me the one paragraph version of the story. I heard infection or outbreak or something. Do you remember what it is?
I honestly don't remember an outbreak. All I remember is stuff happening within.
That could be the new law.
So basically, if I remember correctly, the main character Isaac gets to his spaceship looking for his girlfriend, who's Nicole, and he gets to the spaceship, find out there's like an infection that broke out, and that the crew has now been turned, or most of the crew has been turned into this like alien species thing, et cetera, et cetera. And you're trying to find your girlfriend. Again, I never beat it, but just
I did.
cool. No spoilers. Just really quick. So when we talk about lore infusion that's coming, they're talking about like books, anime, et cetera, things that like to expand on the universe, kind of like.
Are they
Yeah.
like officially confirming that, or are they just saying they're going to add more story? Like,
So
sound?
the quote is the things we want to enrich in terms of story or narrative. It's really about the bigger universe of Dead Space. We want to have more ties with what came after, whether it's the books, whether it's the anime, whether it's Dead Space 2. We
so
want to put
that
the
already
original
exists. Okay.
a better way inside that broader universe. Yeah.
Which makes me feel like they're gonna shift the story to kind of like, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna shift the story a little bit, and I don't know. When I hear that, it doesn't bode well with me. I hear that and I'm like, dude, just fucking don't fuck with that. Just leave it as it is. Remake the game and make the game better.
I feel like they're doing what the MCU is doing right now. They're taking what's there and bringing it bigger. Joe in the chat said the original story was actually about him being commissioned to the USS Ishimura as a maintenance call. When he showed up, he realized everything was very wrong, as everyone was dead. His wife
that's
was
what I
also on the
remember.
ship, and he also looks for her while figuring out what happened. Well, in this, it says his girlfriend, so who do I believe? The Verge or Joe in the chat? And I'm going to go with Joe.
Yeah, is this new lore infusion? They're like splitting them up.
Yeah,
They never
or
got
maybe
married.
they're different people. Maybe
Yeah.
he had a wife and a girlfriend. Anyway,
What if the game starts and like that? There's like a video in the beginning where it's like a voice, like a video call that he has like recorded from his girl. What if it's like his dad instead?
they just changed it up completely. Anyways, Growing
the one
Glasses
thing I
said.
just-
So go ahead, Skin.
I
Chris.
was just going to say where it's, you talked about him adding his voice. It sounds like they're not making him like super chatty, but like I like the point two, because they've got these two rules. One is he'll only speak when spoken to, primarily. So he's like a well-behaved child at this point. Number two, he will sometimes speak in a situation where it would feel weird if he remained silent. And I don't know if anyone's seen that new Nick Cage movie, which is inspired / basically a ripoff of.
Are you
Five
just
Nights at
trying
Freddy's.
to like put that into every podcast? Because you brought this up so many
Yeah.
times.
There's like 100 moments in that film, because the whole thing is Nick Cage doesn't speak in the entire film.
Well,
And there's
neither
loads
does the
of
character in the
moments.
first one.
What's that? No,
In the original, he doesn't talk either.
In a video game, that's fine. In this movie,
Oh, yeah.
there's loads of times where people talk to him and he just stays silent. And the second I heard it'd be weird if he remained silent, I'm like, exactly. When someone
Yeah.
talks, it just makes me.
Did
think
no
of
one
that.
tell the director this?
But it doesn't sound like he's going to be walking around going, "Well, that was scary," or like bullshit lines like that.
Like
I don't
Resident
think
Evil
they-
2 Leon?
Well, that,
Yeah.
I was
Anyways.
thinking of Ethan, That was special when he sees her
That was
crawl away.
special.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
fucking Ethan,
Let me
Ethan
shit my
with the
pants.
Who
biggest
would say
nuts
that?
I've ever seen in my entire life. He doesn't even fucking think twice. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
walking right into this fucking
It
offensive
was
place.
pretty
I would've been
intense.
like, "God,
Resident Evil
man,
7.
my
Well,
girlfriend's dead, dude. I'm leaving.
how do? That's
love it.
amazing.
know
So
you're
that's
okay.
that article. Again, we don't have a release date, and it's probably several years away. I've heard rumors of maybe late 2022, but if that were to happen, that's like pretty soon. So I don't know. I don't know how realistic that is, but we'll see.
Yeah, based
I'm-
on that, and I don't know if you've seen Skate as well. Like they're talking about these games that are so early in development, it's insane. Like
Yeah.
Skate, they don't have any footage of at all. They just like show people talking about why Skate was their favorite game. And this one, it's like garage shading rooms.
Yeah, it's
and,
just
you know, nothing else.
we're super far from like even close to like an idea of a release date. So
Yeah.
don't get your hopes up anytime soon. Hopefully we hear something maybe like next summer about like releasing this date in 2023. I mean,
Yeah.
I would prefer it releases later, but that's a whole other thing. Let's head on over into our next article, and this is from Kotaku.com. Horizon Forbidden West has 9 confusing additions for some reason.
It's not that confusing.
Well, there's no need for that many. Some are for PS4, some are for PS5, some have discs, and some don't. Over at the PlayStation blog today, Sony detailed the many different versions of Horizon Forbidden West now available for pre-order. Which version you order depends on several factors. Do you need a piece of PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, or both? Do you want a physical disc? How about a $260 box with both versions, no disc, and a statue of a robot mammoth? You'd think you could they can make this a little less complicated. Let's start off with the most basic versions of the game. There are 2 different basic digital editions. One for PS4, one for PS5. PS4 version costs $60. PlayStation 5 version costs $70. If you purchase the PlayStation 4 versions, there's no upgrade path to the PlayStation 5 version, or at least not yet. That's very important.
Don't get it.
Yep. The basic retail version of Horizon Forbidden West is called the Launch Edition. This is for this. There's one for PlayStation 4, one for PlayStation 5, $60 and $70 respectively. For $10 more, there's a special edition for PS4 and PlayStation 5, which comes packaged in a steel book with a mini art book and a voucher for the game's digital pre-order bonuses. Are you guys following along? Because I'm already lost. Note that the 6 different editions we've gone over so far, 6, are platform specific, and you can play the PlayStation 4 version of Horizon Forbidden West on the PlayStation 5 via backward compatibility, but not the other way around. Buying both versions, which why would you need that, begins with the $80 digital deluxe version. It comes with both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games, as well as a bunch of digital goodies like a downloadable soundtrack and digital art book, which I've never used either of those. I imagine this means that there might be a $20 upgrade from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 somewhere down the line, but nothing's been announced yet. Update. I've been reminded that Sony specifically promised such upgrades. Okay. Now we get fancy. I'm reading this whole thing because like there's just so much. The $200 collector's edition is the version you want if you need a giant mammoth statue. It comes packed with a steel bookcase, the mini art book, and the aforementioned mammoth, plus a slew of digital goodies.
That's a steel book case. Not
Yeah.
a steel bookcase. Because that'd be a weird addition. Like here's a IKEA bookcase. made of
Focus
steel.
up, Chris.
Keep reading.
The collector's edition comes with vouchers for both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 versions of the game, but no discs. Why is there a steel bookcase if there is no disc? Who knows? Fantastic question. Finally, we have the most expensive version of them all, the $260 Regalia Edition. It comes with not just a mammoth statue, but a mammoth statue that's different from the other mammoth statue. There are also a couple of art cards, Sunwig and Claw Strider machine physical strike pieces, a canvas map, a replica Focus Alloy's ear thing with stand. The Regalia Edition of Horizon Forbidden West also includes digital downloads for both the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Plus a steel book for the disc that does not come with it. Let's review. To get a game disc, you have to choose PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. If you want both versions digitally, you have to... I'm going to do this Jim Carrey style. If you want both versions digitally, you have to either get the digital deluxe edition or one of those 2 super expensive versions. If you want both versions on one disc, you have to buy 2 copies. And if you absolutely need both versions of the Robot Mammoth statue, may God have mercy on your stole. So,
Dull.
on your stole.
Randy, so there was one point where you were like, "Are you guys following?" And it was then that I realized, oh, I completely checked out. I don't even know anything about what you're talking about right now. I was like, wow, I do not care. God damn it.
Listen, listen, guys. Everyone who's making fun of me, like, accidentally mispronouncing things, suck a butt. This shit is fucking difficult.
Talk about
Yeah.
Put your butt in your own butt. How about that, guys?
Yeah. The whole thing is that, like, there's 9 versions of this. Fucking 9. I think 4, I forget how many of them come with a steel bookcase that doesn't come with the physical version, which means you'd have to buy the disc on top of the game you just bought. And also,
Yeah, what the fuck? At least give the disc. That's like the least expensive part of the whole thing.
yeah, and then you can buy the PlayStation 4 version and the PlayStation 5 version, but you can't play the PlayStation 5 version on the PlayStation 4 version, but you can play the PlayStation 4 version on the PlayStation 5 version. But
That makes sense.
if you want a statue, you got to pay $260 for it, and if you want the other statue, it's more expensive.
No,
We're-
200 and 260.
Do you know what really grinds Randy's gears? This.
Why?
Yeah. See-
I don't just stop it. Stop doing
know
it,
what drives
Sony.
me
First of
nuts?
all, I'm sorry. Hold on, really quick. Sony, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the fuck is going on. That Sony's just like, we're gonna just, you guys want the games? Here's one game 9 different times. That's like, just put the game out and say this is the game, and stop adding all this extra bullshit that fucking. Corey, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, aren't 6 versions of the game digital and non-digital? Aren't those the 6 of the versions?
Who
right there?
knows? Who knows?
That's somewhat not crazy. Here's the thing: if you buy the PS5 version, you should get the PS4 version. Because I bought Miles Morales on PS5. Like, I'll have PS5 soon. Still don't have one, so I'm really glad they did this. All of a sudden, I saw it was available on my PS4. So, like, because I bought it on PS5, I could download it on my PS4. Why they don't do that, I don't know. But you do get it in the deluxe version. The other thing I wanted to say is it drives me nuts at collector's editions where they give you the disc. Because I don't want the fucking disc. I don't want it.
Oh.
I don't want the disc.
You're
I was upset that to get the Tony Hawk one, I would have to get the dumb disc with it. But I got it anyway because I wanted it.
I was gonna say,
But
like,
it's
while
like-
Randy's like, just sell one fucking version. Don't sell all these extras. And like, Corey's sat in front of a bookcase full of like collector's editions.
Well, no,
Well,
like
actually-
there could be a collector. I don't care if there's a collector's
No,
edition,
there's
but
one
like
too.
make a collector's edition. Do that. Put it in a thing. Make it neat. Tie a little bow on it. Go, here's the collector's edition. It's $100 or like $150, like because it comes with all this extra stuff. Fucking cool. Great. Do that. But the 9? Also, Corey, you're 100% right. If you buy it on PlayStation 5, you should totally be able to play on a PlayStation 4 and vice fucking versa. Like enough.
Well,
No, because if it's
well,
60, hold on. If it's $60 on PlayStation 4 and it's $10 more on PlayStation 5, fucking great. You want to play on PlayStation 5? Pay $10 extra, and you
Yeah,
got it.
that
And
I
you got
can agree
it.
with.
Boom.
For sure.
Good.
Wait a minute. When has that ever been a thing? There was never a time where you buy a PS4 game and then you have the PS3 version available. There's never a
But
time
there's
where
been
you
a
buy the
time
system.
now. There's been a
Very
time now
different.
where you buy a PlayStation 4 game and you get the free upgrade of PlayStation 5.
And
Well,
Scotch
you
was
see,
just
the thing
saying
is
that you had the PS5 version. You bought. Did you just say you bought the PS5 version of Spider-Man because you?
Well, because I
knew
wanted the
you-
Ultimate Edition for the first
Oh,
one
It was the ultimate
as well.
Okay.
Because I
wasn't
wanted
regular.
both. And then and then I saw like I could download Miles Morales on PS4 as well. Like they gave me the PS4 version because I paid $70 for their PS5.
So there you go. So I agree with like Laz. Like every other generation has had. That's never been the case.
But this
But it
is-
seems to be way more common now. We're in this like hybrid generation.
Yeah.
Especially with like how Xbox does it. If they want to have some sort of semblance of competing with that, then they need to be
Yeah.
doing that
Yeah.
and doing it more smoothly.
But if I buy the Series X version on my Series X, I'm not going to expect to be able to play it on my Xbox One.
You
Although
wouldn't
it's
necessarily
definitely
want
like a nice gesture, and it's definitely dope, and I would prefer that over anything else.
Yeah.
And that also same thing vice versa. Like if I buy the PS4 version, I'm not always expecting to be able to. Oh well, no, actually no, never mind. If I buy the PS5 version, I'm not expecting to be able to play it on the previous thing. These days, since backwards compatibility, you should be able to take your current like or last gen and play it on the current one. That makes sense. So if you buy the PS4 version, you should at least be able to play the PS4 version on the PS5. I'm not expecting to play the PS5 version on the PS4. If I strictly buy the PS5 version, I'm not expecting that to work on my PS4. But
here's why I am.
I
Give
don't.
us the fucking system. Make the
Yeah, there you
system
go. Make it
fucking
available.
available.
Well,
And then I wouldn't be having this conversation.
That's
I
a
wouldn't
whole
give
other
shit if
co-
it was available on PS4.
no,
I'm just
no,
saying, like,
that's a
why.
whole other
That's my-
conversation.
That's,
That's a
my biggest reason.
And that's fine, and that's definitely a thing. But that's a different. They're very different conversation.
True. My biggest takeaway from this is I think it's personally bullshit how publishers are ripping off fans with collector's editions, because quite clearly we like a lot of people, I don't want to say suckers, but a lot of people like collecting things because they want to have that version that they can be like, hey, I got the best version of this. When they do like two different distinct collector's versions, because they know that fans are like, well, no, but I particularly love Horizon, so maybe I should, like, I want
They're
both versions of this.
expensive.
Yeah, and I don't know. For me, it just feels like they're sort of toying with your like that collector mentality, because they know they can, and you end up spending so much freaking money because they've deliberately split and made two different versions of these fucking mammoths.
And like, I guess, like again,
that's some bullshit,
like
right?
I'm not mad at that. Like, if you want to make a collector's edition, you want to buy your collector's edition. They like two different versions of it. I don't really care about that.
That's fine. But
yeah.
it's multiple collector's editions.
Right.
So you need to buy every one.
Yeah,
That
like
are also super expensive.
yeah, and I've only bought collector's editions for two games, for Marvel Spider-Man and from Kingdom Hearts 3, and they were beautiful like things that came with it, and like I was like, cool. It was $100. I think is well worth it, but like and this is why I keep bringing this up. I just don't think that they should continue to release games on PlayStation 4 when the PlayStation 5 is well into its lifespan, almost a year in, I would
That's
say.
a big statement.
Yeah.
It is,
Don't
and that's
think
my
that they should
opinion.
Release games
I would agree
for
with you.
the
if-
119 million people or whatever who have PS4 and can't afford PS5.
Or can't get it.
Can't get it.
Yeah,
Can't even get
I
it.
mean,
Never mind. If
like
can't even get it.
that's
That's
my
like
opinion,
saying-
and it's like it might be controversial, but go ahead, Chris.
Yeah,
Hot
no,
takes.
I think like, and I don't think you think like this, but I hear that and I think that's people who are on lower income, living low, like you're sort of basically saying that cut them loose. For me, it's like, oh, when Blu-ray comes along, like never make another DVD disc after 1 year. Like you should. I strongly believe. I understand why you're saying it, because you want the like absolute machine to be pushed to the limit with
Yeah.
these games. And it's less about, oh, I think you should screw over the old fan base. But I just think you've got to be a little more giving with people who either can't yet afford PS5 or just can't get their hands on it. Like Squatch just wanted a PS5 for freaking ages and hasn't been able to get hold on what.
Well, see, like I get that, like, but that's not the argument I'm trying to make here. Like, I think like the whole PlayStation 5 shortage thing is completely fucked, and Sony has done nothing to combat the scalpers and stuff like that. And speaking of which, there is a report, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed, that the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X CPUs, the manufacturer of the CPU is charging 20% more for the CPU. So, which means that and I think this is happening for the new iPhone releases as well. PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X's and S's moving forward will be a little bit more expensive.
Cars are $5,000. Cars are $5,000 more expensive. At the
Yeah,
moment as well.
yeah, cars are way more expensive at the moment. Like it's a whole big thing, but
Even
that's
used cars.
that's not what I'm saying right now. Like that's a whole different thing. I want people to have PlayStation 5 in their hands. And $500 is a steep thing, and $400 for like the digital version is not like a thing that people like. A lot of people can just like easily just take it out of their pocket and go, here's $400 or $500, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm putting the onus on PlayStation and Sony for making this extremely confusing and like putting out all the different versions and messing up like a lot of releases of games because it's a money-driven thing where it's just like it's getting greedy, and that's just how I feel. Like I'm just like, you're putting out the game not because you want the consumer to enjoy it. You're putting out these versions of the games because you're trying to make more money from it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Which I feel like is funny too, because if you make a really good product, and you market it properly, you can, in the long run, you'll make more money. Like, if it's not like a whole confusing thing, and I knew exactly what it was, like, you read the whole article on all these different versions of the game, and I'm sitting there, I just fucking check out because I'm having a hard time following. There's like 9 different releases of the game. If they just had PS5 version, PS4 version, deluxe, because you always get the deluxe, and boom, that's it. Then you knew what you were doing. People would just be like, oh, here, I'm gonna buy this, or I'm gonna buy this. And then it's like, I can tell you damn well that if someone was just thinking about the game, they're like, oh, I want to buy the game, and they see like 9 different versions, they're like,
Perfect.
what do I get?
That is the
And then-
perfect point, and I'm going to give you the exact example that hits that on the nose. PUBG was released in 2017, I believe, and has currently been downloaded 730 million times. You put out a good product, people play your game. Just do that.
And that one wasn't free to play. You paid, you bought that game. Right?
I'm not saying that it was free to play. I'm saying that
No,
I'm
saying you pay money for it.
yeah.
Because like as opposed to other battle royales, most of them are usually free.
Well,
That
yeah,
one's
it was.
not
This
free.
is yeah, 730 million. So it means that had a sales number of 730 million. So, and it's the game released in 2017. So,
There you go. If you do it right, you make your money, bro.
yeah, I got really
I
into
will
this one.
say-
I don't know why this one set me off out of all of
Well-
the stories.
Yeah,
It's
It's so annoying, is what it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of different versions, and you're still very upset about, including PS4.
yeah.
You're still
you're
very
angry
upset
Yeah,
about
yeah.
You're angry
Which,
that
like,
PS4
for-
users
that. For me,
able to play games still.
like to Chris's point, like you don't just cut out DVDs because Blu-ray came out. Like as a company, if you want to continue to make money, if they only made PS5, they wouldn't make it.
No, they wouldn't,
Even
yeah.
without the shortage. Like to Chris's point, like not everyone could even afford it right away. I'm sure with plenty of other next gen releases, like not everyone had it right away. I didn't have a PS4 until 2 years after it came out, just because simply I couldn't dish out the money for it for full
Sure.
release. So I had to wait. So I guess I'm not a great example because I also stopped playing games for like 2 years. So like it didn't matter to me there either. But like if I had and like some games were not released then that would be kind of annoying because it's like, well, I can't play that. So I guess I don't get to play new games anymore.
Yeah,
After a certain point, it's different. Like a year later, year and a half later, sure, maybe. But
I'm just glad you came out of that 2-year coma unharmed.
I thought I was done. I'm like, I'm not playing video games anymore. I'm done. And then I watched your brother play Arkham Knight for 5 minutes. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not done.
I'm back in.
Gimme.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time on this, and it's completely my fault. I didn't mean to go off on this one. I apologize.
Hey, man, we had a good conversation.
Yeah, but like and some Rise in the chat said PUBG good product. I mean, regardless of like its downfalls and shortcomings, it has sold and is still played by a lot of people. So it's done well. It's been a successful thing. Did I miss
Hate to say it, but how
Yeah.
much money does Fortnite make?
Right. Red said the only collectors or extra edition I bought has been super discounted in older Metal Gear Solid 5. You love your Metal Gear Solid, Red. Joe said, sorry, one sec.
I'm gonna clarify something after.
Sure. It's just like how Marvel handles their movies. If you listen to what the people like, you will be all right. And people will continuously view / play your content. Yeah.
I just want to clarify that I do have the Tony Hawk collector's edition because it was $100.
I have respect for you
bucks.
right now.
Yeah, because like you, I played that a lot when I was younger, so it
Metal
made
Gear?
sense. It was only $100. Like I'm not spending 200. The collector's edition I had bought before that was Assassin's Creed, and I mean Assassin's
Which one?
Creed.
The original. Wow.
The
That's what I
original.
mean, yeah.
Nice.
I don't even have that anymore.
Yep. I had the Halo 2 steel bookcase.
Yeah, the steel
Yeah.
bookcase,
Yeah,
the
it's fucking
massive.
huge. Yeah. Put all my other games on it. No, but I had that, and then I like dented it in the first week, and I was like, I'm never fucking getting it. Because in my head, I was like, the resale value of this is gonna be awesome. And then when I actually went to sell it, they weren't even reselling for like much more anyway. They were like
No.
$1 extra. Or
Damn.
whatever. I was like, that's pointless.
Well, last thing we'll say on this is, regardless of the different editions, the game is available for pre-order, and it looks to be a genuinely good game at the end of the day. So we'll see how that goes. Let's head on over into our.
But Digital Foundry was showing that it was basically perfect 60 frames a second. So check that video out.
Yeah.
It looks technically impressive.
4K?
Impressive.
Impressive, Mr. Bond.
Yeah, again, it looks genuinely good, even though this whole release thing is just it's just too much. Let's head on over into our next article, and this is from, how do you pronounce this? Reuters? Reuters. And
Steroids.
chat, I really want to hear your thoughts on this. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but earlier this week, the Chinese government put out a mandate that underage gamers would only be allowed to play for 3 hours a week. No, I'm sorry. Hold on. Am I reading this correctly? I think
Where are you
it's
seeing the Reuters article? You linked to Wall
there.
Street Journal.
I
and
linked
CNN.
Did you swap it
two
out?
no, there are 2 articles there. If you guys look,
No,
Yeah,
see,
the
I only
second
saw
one's
one
CNN.
too, so it's not our
I
fault.
only see. Oh, there's 2. No, it looks like one.
it looks like one, but
Yeah,
there's
the
2.
second one's CNN.
Come on, you gotta make that.
There's no Reuters one there.
No, there is.
There is. Hold on. If you look at the
Oh,
sheet
yeah.
now.
There you go. Boom.
I popped the CNN one
No,
because I
there's,
thought.
there's none. There's no articles.
God damn it.
I need you to put those back immediately
Yeah, I
because I
just-
need to click on it. I just want to clarify. I think it's yeah. So 3 hours a week for young people. You,
But it's like 1 hour a day, right? Like you can do 1 hour on Friday, 1 hour on Saturday, 1 hour on Sunday.
if you let me finish.
Well, you know, you're going-
Jeez Louise. So you can't play any games Monday through Thursday, and then you can play, like Squatchy said, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 1 hour a day, so 3 hours a week. And I did link an article here from the Wall Street Journal, but they're like, oh, you want to read this? Here's, pay us $4 a month. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So this is from Reuters. Young Chinese gamers took to social media to express their outrage at new rules that limit their gaming time to just 3 hours per week, while investors fretted about the long-term impact on the industry. And I'm not going to read this whole article because it's a lot, but authorities argue the restrictions are necessary to stop growing gaming addiction in the People's Daily, the ruling Communist Party's official newspaper, which I'm sure is completely trustworthy, said the government had to be ruthless as online games impair normal study life and the physical and mental health of teens. The curbs are part of Beijing's efforts to promote the primacy of socialism and strengthened controls over society. It now views has become too lax after years of laissez-faire growth for the tech sector and other industries. And no, I did not have to look up those 2 words, even though yes, I 100% completely did. Young gamers, however, were angry.
I like
Quote-
that's a sentence. Young gamers were, however, angry.
Yeah, summarize that does include mobile
Empowerment.
gaming. That is,
Yeah, everything.
Book said China's always honest. What are you talking about, Randy? Yeah, totally. Quote, this group of grandfathers and uncles who make these rules and regulations. Have you ever played games? Do you understand that the best age for esports players is in their teens? Said one comment on China's Twitter-like Weibo. Quote,
Next one is gonna get you.
Yeah, I know, I read ahead. Oh, fucking hell.
I even feel weird saying this.
Saying it.
Sexual consent at 14. At 16, you can go out to work, but you have to be 18 to play games. This is really a joke. End quote. So the article does go on. And again, if you would like to read the whole article, it will be in the show notes. But basically, at first, shareholders and companies were like, oh, no, this is bad. Not because of what's happening now, but because gaming, what's the word I'm looking for? Not the quality, the hobby is learned in early years. So that means that these kids grow up, they won't be playing games as
Listen,
much, and we'll lose money then.
That's 30 2-minute runs on Tony Hawk. I'm not complaining about. That's a solid amount before dinner.
Yeah. Honestly, you're 100% right. So anyway, next article.
Hold on.
No.
They said online gaming, right? Does that mean no video games at all, or just?
It's basically going to be monitored by that person, that individual's account. So if they're under 18 and they log into that account, regardless if it's like multiplayer online or just playing regularly, their limit will be an hour Friday, an hour Saturday, an hour Sunday, 3 hours a week if they're under 18. But
So I
No,
guess
this is no matter what you're playing. So if I'm playing strictly offline game, solo
No,
game,
because they wouldn't see you log into your account. So I
Well, unless your system pinged, right? Because you're still online.
just unplug the.
yeah,
plug the
of
device.
course,
I mean, yeah.
of course.
oh yeah. Just unplug
look,
it and just
like,
play on your
look, there's
controller.
gonna be ways to circumvent it. You could also log in with
It's not cool. Don't get me
an
wrong.
other
Yeah.
like an older brother, or older sister, or like a parent's account, and that they can't track that. Like, or maybe they will. I don't freaking know. Technology is kind of crazy nowadays. But the point
Crazy,
is,
I'm trying to right now.
yeah, at the end of the day, this law is being put in, and regardless of how they get around it, it's a stupid fucking law. Like, I don't understand.
It's mental.
Like, it just.
Can
Yeah, go for it, because I have opinions, but
Yeah,
I don't want to
okay.
get fucking
I
all
need
over
to
the place
put
again.
it out there right now that like this is stupid. Like the government shouldn't have any right to tell kids when they can't play. That's up to the parents to decide.
100%.
This thing. At the same time, I have children, and I have seen the effects of when my 9-year-old plays games all week, and it does not end well. So I can't remember the first spout that it happened, why we let him play a lot, but like when COVID started, I'm like, what the fuck else is he gonna do? Sure, man, go play games all day. Got nothing else for you. I gotta work. It is what it is. But 2 times we noticed it, that if he's playing all week, and then you just change one thing and say, hey, you have to stop, he breaks down, loses it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, gets really upset, like he wanted to play, like starts crying, and sorry, buddy, if you listen at some point later in your life, just gets like, really, really upset. But if we limit him, and like, all right, you have to stop and do this now, he'll be okay. So like, I get the whole like mental side of it, but parents' decision,
Yeah,
not the government.
Exactly.
it's mental.
You 100% are right. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, the funny thing is as well. I mean, clearly the lifestyle there is starkly different. I was watching a video earlier about is it a 966 lifestyle? 996 lifestyle, which is like you work from 9 till 9, 6 days a week. That's expected as adults.
Yeah, I've heard of this as well.
There's a good documentary on Netflix called The Factory, where basically a Chinese firm moved to Ohio, I think it is, take over an old auto factory, and they bring in their Chinese workers. The Chinese workers are working like 5 times as hard as any of the Americans are. They take far less time off. Like they're literally like drilled, and things like this makes perfect sense because at a young age they're dictated to, and they have this sort of hammered into them. So it's completely alien to us. It's fucked to hear about it. It's one of those things that's not terribly surprising, as fucked up as it seems. And I completely agree with you, Squatch. Like, I, as a not yet parent, but think I would have my own, regulations that I would enforce and the amount of gaming that my kid can play. But again, 100% down to the parent, without question.
Yeah.
It's mad.
I think that's what this article, like this whole thing, boils down to, is because, like you said, Chris, like you said, Corey, like it should be up to the parents and what they allow, what they don't allow. Like my nephews are allowed to play, or allowed to watch TV 30 minutes a day. I think they get to watch 1 or 2 shows, and that's it. That's done. That's all I get for the day. And I'm like, good, great. Leo and I, growing up, our parents only let us play video games on the weekends. So Monday through Thursday.
I thought that was the end of the sentence. They only let us play video games.
Yeah.
They forced us. I tried to go outside. I tried.
Only
The
video
weekends,
games.
was it?
My
But-
dad hears this. He's like, "What?"
But like, yeah, it was.
Weekends, did you say?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays was the only days we were allowed to play video games. And we would like sneak it in every once in a while. But like,
Yeah, of course.
video games,
That's what I do now with
Yeah.
my kid.
sure. Video games only on weekends, right? And like, but we also played sports and stuff like that. And Red in the chat said he bounced between playing hours of games and riding my bike for hours at a time. Never had healthy limits, but that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's up to the parents, and I don't understand like the only and I don't have the numbers here because I couldn't find them. The only like comparison I can make was the difference in underage drinking between Americans and English teens, where like English teens would drink underage a lot less than Americans did because they could legally start drinking at 18.
I'd have to massively disagree with you there.
I saw this when I was younger. I saw this in the past, but that's like I'm not even sure if this is like completely right, but like and like the study I did say that like underage drinking has like trended down more recently as opposed to like the early 2000s and 90s and stuff like that. But like the only thing I can think of is like you tell someone not to do something and the first thing they're like is like, no, I want to fucking do that thing now. You know what I mean? But
and just on that point, I bring the point up because I had an American friend came across to England when we were 16. We all started drinking about 13, 14, pretty heavily. Our legal age is 18. Yours is what, 21?
Yeah.
I just think it just happened earlier with us because like 5 years before the legal age, we'd start or more. you guys probably did the same 5 years before. But I get your point. Other than that, I just don't think it's a good comparison point because we have major underage drinking problem in the UK, like major.
Sick.
Yeah. And I was a big part of that as well, and it was fun. But yeah, anyway. But no, I mean, like I think the one thing that you've got to think about this is as a sport, esports. If you're a non-Chinese kid, you're going, well, there's a lot of the competition just gone.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, yeah,
100%.
Don't need to worry about those Chinese kids anymore.
That does suck though, like, because there are a lot of kids out there who are like 13, 14 who are just starting out to be really fucking good and they can go pro at 14, 15 years old, and now they're gonna lose that opportunity. Book said maybe it's because they're busy doing hard drugs and committing crimes instead of drinking. That's horrible. But yes, that's probably exactly why. But yeah, I did see another article because like what Corey said makes a lot of sense. Like I don't think a ton of screen time is healthy. I say on a gaming podcast. I do think limits.
Kids here, we're adults.
Yeah, I do think limits are necessary, but I did see another article where it's like what China's doing is right, but they're going about it the wrong way, and I'm like, okay, I see that.
I still don't think. I think if you're saying like it's definitely good for children to have less screen time, then yes. But I think it's like it's dangerous that government getting involved in that. It's very Big Brothery.
100%.
That's what I was thinking. Like military state. Like what's gonna happen? Like are they gonna get fined? Are they gonna go to fucking juvie for breaking that law? Like what's gonna happen to them?
Imagine if you as a young kid like logged on with your like older brother's gaming account. And you're playing, and then like a pop-up was like, "You're playing particularly badly today. Are you sure you're not the younger sibling? Like your aim is trash. Are you?" Yeah.
Or even scarier, you decide to play the game, and then you're playing, and your door gets kicked in by the Chinese government.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be.
I meant the
that.
entire Chinese government, the entirety of it.
Right through the windows, coming through the ceiling. You see people coming up from the floor.
Put all your money in Oregon Trail. I think edutainment's about to get massive in China.
Oh Jesus!
Offline edutainment.
When that game was released, I don't even remember.
80s.
80s or something. You now have that disease that I can't remember the name of.
Dysentery.
Dysentery.
There's a bunch of Chinese kids about to die of dysentery, man.
Oh God! Take that out of context. Clip it.
If you can figure it out, we're on YouTube, baby.
All right.
Can you clip here?
I think you can. I think it's easier to clip here. But anyway, let's head on over into our next article. This is from NME.com. And the news is Game Boy games may be coming to Nintendo Switch online soon. Now you're playing with portable power. What a dumb headline that is. Original Game Boy titles may be appearing on the Nintendo Switch's Switch Online service really soon, according to new rumors. The source, as spotted by Nintendo Life, is the latest episode of the Hate podcast, where the known insider presenter speculates the games from Nintendo's original Game Boy and its successor, the Game Boy Color, the greatest Game Boy of all time. And that's in the article. I didn't just make that up myself. I didn't say it. That's in the article. Don't read the article. We'll be joining the subscription service as soon as September 2021. Switch Online is Nintendo's answer to Xbox Live Gold or PlayStation Plus, allowing subscribers to access online multiplayer while also providing a library of classic titles from past consoles. The service launched in September 2018 with a small library of Nintendo titles, or NES titles is available. A year later, Super Nintendo games were added to the roster, adding Game Boy titles now would potentially mark the third anniversary of the service. This would be fucking awesome. I think this would be super dope. I would love to have some Game Boy games be able to play on Nintendo Switch. I would love to play Nintendo or Pokemon Yellow again. That game blew my mind.
Did you play them on because they had the Game Boy games available on 2DS and 3DS.
I didn't. I didn't get to play those, no.
I completed a couple of games that I was unable to complete as a kid because of that, and it was really like Super Mario 1 I'd never completed. I completed 2. I got to the end of Tetris finally. Just things like that. It's like it's
End of Tetris.
You mean it was the original DS you can play it on, because I don't remember being able to play the Game Boy games on the.
I just remember it was downloadable through the store. It wasn't the yeah. So I downloaded I don't think it was, but anyway, the end of Tetris is like you get to like level 20 or whatever, and suddenly there's Mario building a wall with a Russian background, and I think a rocket takes off.
What?
Yeah, it's like it goes very fast to get to that point.
Yeah.
But you had save states and stuff. Funny
Oh.
enough that there's two things that make this amusing to me. One is I'm planning to sell my Switch.
Yes.
Two is I was looking up like the price of original Game Boys and the Japanese only Game Boy Light, which is a Game Boy the size of a pocket Game Boy but with a backlight screen. Because I was like, I feel like I'd just be happy playing like 5 or 6 old school Game Boy games as like a, 10 minutes before bed or something. And so now this is like, it's almost like Nintendo are like, no, you shan't sell the Switch because we're going to give you those games.
Yeah.
So I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, exciting times ahead for this. I'm still not a fan of Nintendo's business practices, but this is cool.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's fine. It's like I feel like they do this every single generation, so it's never that exciting. Like I said, I had them on the 3DS, so I'm not going to play Super Mario 1 again, probably.
Oh, you mean they re-release games and make you pay for it rather than just letting
Yeah.
you fucking play it because you spent the money on it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense,
I think
makes
I've had
sense.
like six Super Mario 64 like on 6 different. I had them on the Wii, I had it on the DS, the new version. I've now got it on the Switch. I had it on the N64. There's got to be something else. But yeah.
It's so funny where you all get like PlayStation for like, you need to have the backwards version. Nintendo were like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, they're
We
not
shall
gonna
buy
do
it 9 times in 7
Yeah.
years.
Or if you're red, you just keep buying Metal Gear Solid
But-
3.
To the point though, they do at least still make it available. Whereas like, where can you buy a PlayStation 2 game on
That's
Sony?
very true.
Fucking
100%.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Facts.
There's several games that I have really been wanting to play lately. The one game I keep wanting to play is Jet Set Radio Future, but I
Original
have to like
Xbox.
I have to get an original Xbox to play it. And then I went and looked online, and it's not very easy to set up a Xbox emulator, so I haven't fucked with that. And I
So-
don't really intend to fuck with that. But
But
Yeah.
no, you had a butt. I didn't realize you'd have a butt.
no, I don't know. I kind of was talking, and then the butt came out, and I
I'll
was like,
raise
I
I'll
didn't
raise
mean to
your
place my
butt
butt.
with,
I didn't
with
mean to
another
place my
butt. Okay,
Place
well,
my
I'm
butt
gonna,
on top.
So many butts. I'm
what I was
into
gonna
this.
say is the Xbox was notoriously easy to hack, and you can get an Xbox for like $100 on eBay, but you can upload ROMs to it. Like I remember back in the day, someone even had it at the time where they had every single Xbox game just available from the hard drive. So it might be worth
Holy shit!
knowing that you can do that. It might make it worth the money.
You could do that on the Wii too.
I do remember this.
Oh, yeah.
This sounds really. I want to read this really fast. Boog, aka Karate in the chat said, "I remember it was the first computer class, and it was Oregon Trail. You'd name your people after friends in the room, and you eventually you'd be like, "Hey Matt, you drowned with 2 oxen in the river. Dumb.
You fucking killed 2 oxen.
You killed
because
2
were too
oxen.
risky, Matt, you dick.
Son of a bitch, Matt. Those oxen are expensive. It's 1884. Where else are we gonna get our milk? Because that's where at then they got milk from ox. It's a whole thing. Let's head on over into our last article, and this is from Kotaku.com.
Oh god.
Ox milk.
Ox milk,
Yeah,
man.
That's not milk. Yeah, I wonder why there was such a little amount of it.
Yeah, it tastes a little
Wait,
salty.
Quick reference. City Slickers 2.
And the ox had to go and lie down afterwards. What's
No.
that?
Everyone see
No, I
City Slickers 2?
Yeah.
John Lovitz is talking about milking his cow. He's like pulling, tugging, tugging, nothing. And Billy Crystal goes, his name's Normanton. You're pulling on his dick. He's like, I'm going to go wash my hands.
Okay. Thank you for that.
He's already talking about jerking off
What-
oxen.
Who the fuck was talking about that? Not us. Red said, my computer class, one guy downloaded Halo on the school server, so it was one giant LAN party.
Oh, that's so tight.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
All right, this is our last article in Angie's Corner. This is, again, from Kotaku. Steam's 2-hour... And this is a little bit of a shitty story, but I'm bringing this up because we as gamers need to call out this bullshit and do better. Steam's 2-hour refund policy forces horror developer into indefinite absence. The policy means well, but continues to punish developers of smaller games. Okay. Let's give you... well... I'm not going to read the whole story because we are running behind. Again, my fault because I went nuts on that other article and I take full responsibility. Basically, Emeka Games is the developer behind this new game called Summer 58. It's a very short game, indie game, fantastic reviews on Steam, really, really good game. But The problem is it's only an hour and a half. You can beat the game in an hour and a half. Now, Steam's policy means that you can get a full refund on any game as long as you haven't played it for more than 2 hours. So if you beat the game in an hour and a half, you can go to Steam and be like, hey, I didn't play for 2 hours. I want my money back. And that's what a lot of people did with this game, Summer 58. They basically beat the game, loved it, left a good review, and then went, I can get a refund. And I'm
So shitty.
asking for my money back. Yeah, it's a horror game. And because of that, the developer, Emika Games, was left without funds to continue working on their next game. And as a result, they issued a statement saying that they are leaving game development for an indefinite time to collect their thoughts. And this is their quote. Friends, thank you for your support. I'm leaving game development for an indefinite time to collect my thoughts. The fact is that my game, Summer 58, does not reach 2 hours of playing time by Steam standards in this regard. A huge number of returns of the game, even with positive reviews. Again, he's not English, so this grammar isn't correctly put together. And I do not earn anything to create a new game. Thank you very much for supporting me. I'm very glad that you like my games, but since I have no conditions to do something new, I have to do something else. I will immediately answer everyone who asks about his next game from day to day. This game will not see the light of day in the near future. See you later. End quote. So, this really shitty way to end Angie's Corner, but I put it here on purpose because I want to call this out. Again, this game is on Steam as overall very positive, which means the people who play the game have loved it and they've left good reviews, and it's been a really good game. I haven't personally played it, but I'm gonna go buy it just to help this guy out. I think it's like $20, if I remember correctly.
Actually, I'm looking at it right now. It's $6.92 on sale from
Good move.
$6.99. It's $7. The game is
It's
$7.
$7
Cheap
fucking
game to be-
dollars.
Like,
Yeah.
These people
Fucking
return.
assholes.
You couldn't fucking go make $7.
It's
from
not
your
even.
whatever.
It's like, look, like I get it. Like there's kids out there who use their mom's credit card to buy a game, or like it's their older brother bought them a game. They're like, hey, here's $20, blah blah blah, or a Steam gift card. You know what I mean? And that Steam policy is good. I do like that Steam has that policy of you haven't played it for 2 hours, you want a refund, you don't like the game, here's your refund. You know what I mean?
for
Because
sure.
you couldn't do that before with PlayStation, and I believe with Xbox prior to Game Pass and stuff, before the whole Cyberpunk debacle. And I didn't like that about PlayStation. I hated that if I bought a digital game I didn't like it, I couldn't get a refund. But Steam was like, you can do it. But for this kind of game, it's like, yo, if you like the game, give the guy your money, bro. He deserved it. He put in his work. Like, don't then go get a refund after you beat it, after you liked it. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. it's
People
like-
still aren't going to care. Like even with what's happening, the people who
I-
returned it aren't going to give a shit, which is
Yeah,
even
I-
more frustrating.
I agree. I feel like there should be a like if you state that the game, it should be like a percentage of the game. So if you state that your game is typically a 90-minute game, then maybe there's a 15-minute like refund policy because it's a 2-hour policy
Yeah, that's
for
a good-
games that are like
yeah.
40 hours in duration, and particularly for indie devs as well. I don't really blame the people because everyone's always sort of looking to. I mean, it's shitty, but it's like if you've got the option to do it, it's more about Steam, not like applying one policy for a range of games that go from 90. Because some of my favorite games are probably, an hour or 2 hours of my life, and then I'll be like, "Oh, that was cool," and move on. Like these interactive sort of narratives.
Sure.
So
I think it's on both sides. Like I think as the consumer, don't be a dick and return it just because you beat it, especially if you enjoyed
Yeah.
it. If you loathed it, whatever, like fine. Okay, I get it. Sure. But like I agree with you that there should be some sort of like percentage. Maybe 15 minutes is a little bit too short to
Yeah.
really get a good thing, but like half hour, maybe there's something that like if you beat the game,
yeah,
there's
that's
something that
true,
locks
that's
it out
true.
from being able to
Yeah.
return it. Like if
You
there's
played
something
a
that can
lot
sniff
of that
that.
game, you should not be able to. And
Yeah.
I think the reason that
Yeah, I don't think that's
my
hard to do either.
the reason I'm sort of defending, because I'm guilty of that when I was a kid. When I was in college,
Well,
I
yeah.
might have mentioned this once before. In college, Game, which is our game store, had a like 2-day return policy, or maybe it was even 7-day return policy. And so I literally would treat Game like my rental company. And granted, these weren't independent developers, but I remember like Serious Sam completed that, like spent a whole week playing it with my mate, completed it, took it back, and on like the 10th or 11th time, I started having to go to the different game store because the guy kind of knew what was up. And it was bullshit behavior, but I was a student who had no money for anything, And I was like, hey, if they give me this option, I'm not going to be that morally upset. However, this is a bit different
Sure.
because it's an indie developer. These were big, this was like
Yeah.
EA and-
And a $7 game.
Also, really
Yeah.
quick, Boog said it should be based on average game length. Oh, average game length. Oh, yeah, I misread that earlier. It was average game length, like playtime. But yeah, 100%. That is 100% what it should be based on. Also, Chris, like that example. I mean, granted, it is like you not screwing the system, but like it's a loophole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That didn't hurt the developers because they made their money from GameStop buying the games and then GameStop then reselling it to us, et cetera, et cetera. And like again, this is screwing up the developer directly because it's through Steam. So, well, I feel
Plus,
you.
fuck GameStop.
Sure. I feel you, Chris. I do think that like it does have to be on the consumer. Don't be a dick, but also like Steam needs to like take a look at this policy.
It's more on Steam than it is on.
Yeah, for
It's more
sure.
on Steam. Yeah, sure.
It sucks too, like, cause I just feel so bad for these guys. Cause just imagine like you get into this industry, and you nail a game out of the park, and it gets crazy good reviews, and that's one of the biggest things you want. You're like, oh, my game got really
Yeah.
good reviews.
Yeah.
Now you make a reputation for yourself. You show that you can make a good game. But then because so many people refunded your game because they're like, oh, they could, now you can't continue doing what you love to do.
Exactly.
Now you have to go do something else because a bunch of people
It's
were just
shitty.
like, "Nah, well,
Good-
I'll return
good-
the game."
Good point. Let's all get
Yeah.
Summer of '58.
Yeah, it's like you
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. The first review is someone saying that someone mentioning the refund situation, but they said, I heard about it because of that and came back and played it and liked the game. And I'm hoping that this kind of counteracts the whole thing where a bunch of people hear about it. I'm probably going to go buy it pretty soon too. I don't even know if I'm going to play it. I'm definitely going to buy it, and I'm not going to return it. But,
I'm buying. Well, it's $9. It's 23% off right now for $6.92. There's a bundle of all those games. Find yourself locked up in Summer 58 for. That's also on sale for 26%
I
off.
didn't know Akon was part of the company.
I'm locked up. Can't get me out. Good song. Good song. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it right now. As a matter of fact, purchase for myself. I have
Locked
to.
Up gave me some real Visage vibes.
Did you play that game?
Which one?
Locked Up.
No, I'm just looking at the pictures, and there's like a picture in a house with a mirror, and it just looks a lot like Visage.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go on YouTube and watch a playthrough of it. And I'm joking. I'll buy it.
You're just going to send them a check?
Yeah. Here's a money order.
The old days. Yeah. Send us out to just
And
envelope too.
purchased as long as I put my credit card information in correctly, which
Can you read it
is
out loud?
6467. Boom.
Yeah.
Bought. And this is just me supporting this guy. Am I gonna play this game? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. I
Strange.
Wait, did you buy the whole bundle or just the one?
no, just Summer 58. It was $7.38 total. I also
already got it in my cart,
I hate being scared. So
Trigger.
I don't know if I'm gonna play this. But anyway, that's the last article in Angie's Corner. So that is Angie's Corner. Let's head on over into the next section of the podcast, which is hashtag things we didn't have time for. And Chris is gonna do this so quickly.
So quickly.
It's gonna be
And there's-
insane.
Is it Chris's fault when it's not quick though?
Yes. Who else am I supposed to blame?
That feels harsh.
Don't even bring it up. Don't even fucking bring it up. God damn it, don't bring it up.
So, holy shit! Did my keyboard literally? Oh, for fuck's sake! This is going to be a little slower than normal.
Oh, no.
My keyboard, my fucking Bluetooth keyboard I keep having to reconnect it, and that means I can't copy and paste the link into the webpage.
I was having that same issue with my Microsoft controller
Yeah,
last week.
This
It's
is a
really annoying.
Microsoft, keyboard. And it
Oh,
keeps happening.
what the balls?
But anyway,
The
okay.
balls.
So
Sorry.
things we didn't have time for, or things we didn't have time for, however I typed it earlier.
Oh
we've
yeah.
got 5 hot and fresh stories for you. Number 1, dude crashes live TV show, demands Grand Theft Auto 6. A live episode of a German TV show, Beat the Star, which sounds really quite abusive, was interrupted the other day when a young man burst onto the stage and demanded information about Grand Theft Auto 6 from a host who has nothing to do with Grand Theft Auto. As PC Gamer translates, the man butts into a conversation with host Alexander Duzat and reality star Evelyn Badecki to ask, what I want to know is, where the hell is Grand Theft Auto 6? I've been waiting 8 years for Grand Theft Auto 6. We all have, my man, having yet to be apprehended by security. He then asked Duzat to look into the camera and also ask where GTA 6 is. To which the host says, no, I don't have to do that. I haven't even finished GTA 5 yet. Which is
Hilarious.
the best on-the-fly reply to someone doing that is wonderful.
It's amazing.
So I think, yeah, this just highlights more than anything else. One thing that I would ask you all is, if you had to break onto a television show and interrupt the host mid-flow to ask for a sequel to a game that never came, what would it be?
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye 007.
007.
Oh, good shout.
Yeah.
Good shout.
Also,
They had other James Bond games.
yeah, but it wasn't GoldenEye. Red Tendo said, Randy, you were in Germany? Implying that I was the guy who did that, which, yes, it was me because I speak fluent German. That's my
I
answer.
had to check his name wasn't Randy. Because honestly, I flew through those names hoping I pronounced them right. Leo, what would your sequel be?
Portal 3, baby. Fuck
Portal 3.
Half-Life. Give me Portal.
Great
Give me
shout.
fucking Portal.
Wonderful.
I'm
shout.
walking in there with a gun, and I'm gonna be like, listen, if you don't give me Portal 3
Well-
right now.
You just made this really violent now.
Hey, it's not loaded. It's a water
you're in
gun.
the capital
Oh, makes
as
sense.
Well. No, hopefully not. Okay, cool. Squatch, what would your sequel be?
So somewhat torn by it, but I would say a new NFL 2K game.
Mm.
Ah,
Oh, wait, I
But
take my back.
also- Which-
NBA
no, hey,
Street
I
Volume
also-
3.
yeah. How did you not say NBA fucking Jam? Or whatever? You complained about it earlier, and then you're like, I've always wanted a golden one.
I will say though, it's like given NBA 2K's shutting down the server every 2 years policy, like gives me like pause to want them to do the same thing with the football game. So
Fair play. Mine would be Tony Hawk 3 and 4 HD. Give me those remasters right this minute.
Makes sense.
I like
another
style.
another underground game.
Yeah, Underground at that point it got a bit cartoony for me. I still like 3 and 4 was still the holy quadruple quadrant or whatever it would be.
Quadruple.
Anyway,
More
number 2.
cartoon?
Quadricep.
I just want to point out that Karate's killing it in the chat right now. Please continue.
I will have to catch up in a bit, but I thought he wrote GoldenEye 64 ASMR, which would be really weird, like the gun reloading.
Pshoo, pshoo.
Just the karate chop. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, next. Go.
All right. Actually, just the menu audio is great. But anyway,
Yeah, it was. It was.
AI gives Street Fighter characters human faces, and sadly, you need to look at the links in the show notes or just go to Kotaku and look at this. But while I'm doing a Randy, sorry. While Street Fighter
Oh,
5's
F you.
That was
Well,
way
Street-
worse than Randy.
yeah. Well, Street Porter, Preta Manger, we're leaving. While Street Fighter V's character roster is mostly supposed to look human, the game has never attempted to look like photorealism, instead opting for a cartoonish look. Basically, I'm going to fly past this one, but Corridor Crew, who, if you've ever seen them before, they do like, let's
Fantastic.
look at the best and worst special effects on YouTube. They have an AI tool that they ran all the faces through, and all of them look like, is that Zangief? Looks like someone you'd find in like a country pub in the West Country in England, like who can't really pronounce his name properly. He looks so backwards. I'm definitely going to go watch that video. That was a bit of a throwaway one. You should do the same. The next story, third story, Final Fantasy 14 themed fried chicken goes on sale in Japan. Today in Japan, convenience store chain Lawson launched Final Fantasy 14 chicken. What flavor is it? The crystal of light and darkness, as the box states. Or as noted in the parentheses, pepper and tartar sauce flavor, which actually sounds really nice. The light part must be the tartar sauce, the dark part must be the pepper. So the idea of a in-game food being released in person really intrigues me. My question to you all would be, what in-game food do you wish that they released as a real product?
I have no.
Leo's muted if he's either just thinking with his mouth open. And by the way, this thing looks
Holy shit.
rotten. Looks disgusting.
I don't know
what's
how.
up,
I
Leo?
don't know. I don't know if I muted myself on purpose, but I would love to have the whatever they were eating at the beginning of Resident Evil 7. I at the dinner table in the beginning. they
Fucking
had
like
that.
intestines, rotting intestines.
Why?
Yeah, we
Why?
should have that.
Why?
I'm joking. No, that would be disgusting. That's the first thing I thought of.
That's gross.
Randy?
I don't have a game specifically, but I remember like when I first read Harry Potter and the butterbeer. I've always wanted to try butterbeer, and now they have it like Universal Studios, and it makes it
I've
less
had it at
like
Universal Studios.
So
It
sweet.
tastes.
So good.
It's a
yeah.
drink.
But like
If
now
you
that
like
it
sweet stuff, it's good.
now that I have it like a real thing, I'm just like meh. I wanted it to be fake.
To be fair, in the movie, which is obviously not the book, it's much more orange, so it looks even more like, I don't know, tasty. Like in real life.
All I know is that reading Harry Potter be like, oh, butterbeer, that's fucking delicious. I'll never. It'll always be an imaginary thing, and they made it Universal. And I was like, son of a bee, you took away the allure.
You fucked it. You fucked it. It's sort of the same like when I was a kid and I'd like look at the Winnie the Pooh cartoons and the honey looked amazing, and then I had real honey and I was
And you're
like,
like, this is fucking
I
not.
don't like this.
Yeah,
You
why?
ever have a honeycomb in real life?
that guy's a
And
fucking
you're like,
idiot. Yeah,
wow,
honeycomb.
this is terrible.
Oh well,
I'm chewing on a honeycomb. I'm like,
there's bees in it. Oh, yeah.
There's a bee.
It really hurts. Go on, Scotch. What do
I
you got?
can't say I got nothing for video game. I will say the closest thing I can is that any time, specifically in the 1980s/90s version, Ninja Turtles eating pizza.
Oh fuck yeah!
Always.
Oh god, yeah.
Fuck yeah! Love it.
That's a good
Next,
shout.
go.
Mine. Well, no.
Oh,
well,
sorry,
fuck
Chris has
you.
to go.
Basically,
Sorry, I thought you went already.
most of the health pickups in like side-scrolling beat 'em ups, like Golden Axe, the meat, like with the bones sticking out either side, was like so just like give me that perfect Golden Axe meat. It's
First
a
of
good
all,
meat.
has anyone noticed that Chris has never been this aggressive before?
Fucking
It's
meat
my
on the
turn.
bone.
I gotta tell you about the
He's in
food
fight
I
or flight
love.
right now.
You can
He's in
tell
fight or
I haven't
flight.
had dinner. I'm like, I want to fucking tell you what I want to eat. So I titled this one myself, that Cyberpunk will no longer make you wet. And the reason is that Cyberpunk 2077 is Puddlegate's latest victim. So effectively, Cyberpunk 2077, we haven't talked about it for so long. Patch 1.3 was touted as another round of bug fixes and performance improvements, as well as giving characters a new outfit. Wow.
Yay.
And a car. Wow. But some players' characters,
car.
some players quickly noticed other changes. Puddles seemed fewer and farther between. And I have a lot of respect for people that notice really stupid things, like how uneven the posters are behind Leo. And in this case,
I fucking forgot. Man.
it seems
It's
like the
okay.
way that they improved the performance on Cyberpunk 2077 is remove puddles, and people are annoyed about it. I fucking love it. And apparently, it's basically Puddlegate happened during. You remember the Spider-Man Miles Morales trailer? There were loads of puddles, and then when it was released on PS5, people complained there weren't as many puddles. It wasn't as shiny and splashy.
Right, right.
So don't forget
I
that.
remember that.
There's no question for you here. The final one, and this is, you remember I announced that PS5.
Oh wait, hold on.
was-
There is something I wanted to say about this.
Puddles?
But no, because it reminded me about like being wet in a
Puddles?
video game, and I thought of like an Onion article.
Oh, yeah.
That the title was like, video game character dies from hypothermia after jumping into water in the winter or something like that, and like.
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't think of that joke through, but that's the joke.
Funnily enough, I'm playing Psychonauts 2 at the moment, and they have like, they almost make a joke about it early on, like, "Oh, Raz, like, are you still like weirdly allergic to water?" And he's like, "Yep." And that's basically it. But anyway, so you remember I announced that breaking news: PS5 Pro is coming out. Do you
Yes.
remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
so
we
PS5
called you out. You're like, no, PS5 Pro. And we're like, no. And you're like,
PS5 Pro is
Xbox-
not coming out.
You missed it, but basically there's a new model of PS5 coming out where they replaced the screw. That was the one bit that people knew. So I actually watched a video of this. Weirdly, I guess it was just, the algorithm and shit. But basically some guy heard that it was like half a pound lighter as well. And he was like, well, the screw can't be a half pound in weight. So he got someone to send it, because at the moment it's only available in Japan. It's going to be here soon. Someone shipped the PS5 to him.
someone shit a
And-
PS5.
Someone shit a PS5. And
That's how they're making it. That's why it's taking
God
so
rest
long.
their souls. Yeah, exactly. They buried the left half of them in the west and the right half in the east, because that's going to split you in two. So that was
Good
horrible
one.
to
That was
say.
a good one.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So the one thing that wasn't known, so he was like, well, I need to find out why it's lighter. So he opens it up and he compares it with the old one and the new one, and the new one has a much smaller heatsink. And when he did
That's not good.
he did a heat test, like with the IR gun or whatever it is, and the new one puts out far higher external temperatures. And so, good news is, PS5 Pro can heat your room for you as well. There's no real story to that other than we probably should have put this in the main stories because it's sort of this like best kept secret. And if you remember as well, Sony are kind of famous for stripping and dumbing down their consoles with, like PS3 originally had full PS2 backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
They stripped it out.
Yeah.
Things like that. This is a more subtle one, but it's probably not going to cause too many problems. But it's just interesting that it seems to run a lot hotter, and they're not announcing it.
So
as
that's
something
better,
different.
right? You want your electronic equipment to be hotter.
Yeah,
exactly.
totally. That's totally how that works. Did you guys
far
see?
better.
Did you guys see what Karate said? Also,
No,
she said, "What I'd give for a quarter pound screw," and that is
Hey,
a great
Is
joke.
is that sex and a burger in one? Is that what that is?
you want to fuck in the McDonald's is what she's trying to do.
Oh my god. Well, guys, was there anything else you wanted to say on that, Chris?
Wait, where's
Just-
the question?
Yeah, the question is, if you could remove one feature from any old consoles, what would it be? Mine, I can answer. They already did it, but I just thought of it just now.
Uh-huh.
If you remember, I think it was the original Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. It actually had like a headphone port in the front of it and a little volume slider, which just seemed so pointless to me. I had the Mega Drive 2 and never missed it once. But
I did not.
I mean, now it seems pointless.
yeah, like as a kid, maybe cross-legged, maybe you'd want to do that, but like in front of the thing.
Or as a
Uh,
parent,
I don't-
like, put
I don't
your
really have a
fucking headphones
question. Yeah.
I
you
feel
cool with that?
like one of the biggest things about the Wii was the Joy-Cons. I mean, not the
Yeah.
Joy-Cons, the fucking the Wiimote.
Yeah,
And I would have loved if they just completely stripped away the remote.
That's a fucking
the
good
Wiimote.
one.
I was thinking that exact same thing, Leo. That
Oh,
was
really?
my answer. I was like, I wish they never had the ninjucks or whatever they were called.
Nunchucks.
Yeah.
I think it was a cool gimmick, but I remember like when it first came out, and I'm sitting down on the couch. I'm like, what if I just want to sit down on the couch and play some
And
games?
chill.
Instead, I have a whole fucking like workout sesh.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just
Yeah.
trying. I don't get to play games during the day. Sometimes I have to play late at night and stuff like that. So it's like,
I
come on.
just love
Yeah.
how they added the wrist thing after the fact instead of thinking about that ahead of time. But people throwing it into their fucking TV.
That was like one of the first like
was-
viral things. I feel like
Yeah.
people sharing videos and pictures of their smashed TVs, then brand new HD TVs, which it wasn't even running in HD anyway. On that point, I'd take out 3D from the 3DS because the second the
I hated
2DS
that.
came out, yeah, I was just like,
Yeah, it was like there's no
"Turn that
need for
shit
it.
off. I don't want to pay extra for this.
Yeah.
So I got 2D.
when
For
I
what?
bought
Was that?
For
it's
what?
when the 3DS came out, they had the actual
3DS.
3D option,
Yeah.
and then they came out with the 2DS. I didn't even know that it was out because I wasn't playing games at all at the time. I found out that system was out when the 2DS was already out. I'm like, I don't want that 3D shit at all. I didn't even bother. Straight to the 2DS.
I had the
Yeah.
3DS and I was just like for like 1 second, and then I was like, nah, this is shit.
Yeah, I always had it off. Always had it off. Anyways, guys, that's our show. And what a fun one it was. Again, we ran over, but it's my fault. It was on me because I just, for whatever reason, that that Horizon Forbidden West thing just hit home, and I needed to let people
I can't
know.
wait for that game.
I can.
I need to.
Oh,
I
that's
have
right.
the
You
first
didn't
one.
like, right? That's
I thought
see,
you loved
it.
you're,
No,
you just.
I didn't-
I thought
I-
you loved
you
it. That's
know.
why I thought we were talking about it.
Oh
he
no,
didn't.
I was just more annoyed about all these different options for no reason.
Yeah, but I
I
bet
feel
you if
like
this
that
was
was the-
like fucking Kingdom Hearts 3 before it came out, you would have
Yeah.
been all over
You'd
it.
be
and
like,
no,
give me
no, it's
15
fine,
versions.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Nope.
Give me 100 versions.
Yeah.
I want one for every day of the year.
For the love of, don't.
Kingdom Hearts.
For the love of don't. Anyways, guys, that's our show. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, head on over to our social medias, Instagram at Super Average Gaming, Twitter at Super Average Gaming. Just to spell it a little differently. I forget how do you spell it on it's like Super
It's
AV.
like no vowels in the average.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's an average
find us.
word.
Yeah, if you're good at searching things online.
Yeah,
you'll find us.
you'll find it. YouTube.com/Super Average Gaming, where we're live right now. We'll also be going live on twitch.tv/Randy Jr. We might go back to there. We might be doing this. I don't know, maybe a nice little mix of both in between. Who knows? I honestly do not know. Also, head on over to Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever you listen to our podcast, and give us a like, give us a review. It'll really help us grow the channel also. And lastly, if you would like to, you can throw a couple bucks away by heading over to patreon.com/superaverage gaming, where you can become a Patreon producer/supporter if you want to. And if you don't, that's totally 100% fine, as long as you're enjoying the podcast. That's all we really care about. But for now, guys, that's us signing off. We will see you next week. I'm your host, Randy Ramos Jr., Corey, Leo, Chris. I love you all. Have a good night. Chat, I love y'all too. Thank you so much. Peace out.
See you later, smooth brain.
Ouch. Wow. We're not fucking leaving.
I don't know if I can leave it. I love when people use that for certain
Yeah.
certain things. Just perfect.
I'm not fucking leaving. Fucking great times.
Your stupid squealing sound's been back for a
It's
while.
Chris's
Mine.
audio
I just started hearing
and
it.
Leo's audio.
I don't think it's Leo. You keep
It's
saying
Leo. Leo,
I'm gonna mute.
Watch it. Leo, mute yourself for a second and watch the difference.
No difference.
Silent for me.
You don't hear that?
No.
Leo, mute
Chris,
yourself?
mute yourself. Gone.
Right, because Leo muted himself.
No.
I'm
Leo's-
talking. I'm
Okay.
live, baby.
Okay, Leo, mute
I do
yourself.
that shit.
You don't hear the difference?
No.
For me, that literally is like, and then he mutes and he goes.
Right, exactly. That's what
Ooh,
I'm
I
hearing
don't
also.
hear it. I don't hear it.
I wonder if it's a Riverside thing.
Chris is
Well,
doing.
part of
I got something going on from Chris as well. I don't know what it is, but I can remove it
Yeah.
in the
But,
thing.
For me, it's my.
Video
You
quality.
ruined
I think
the
it's my-
stream.
I don't know.
I don't know.
My video quality was terrible today.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know
Looks-
why.
It's better than it was, but at one point it was.
I
like,
know
so bad you could
during
barely see my
the
face.
thingy, like during the actual like live stream, Lee, during the actual live stream, like the quality goes down, but
You
like
did a.
I don't know, it shouldn't be that bad. So you guys look great now.
Put yourself on, Leo. Put yourself on loudspeaker.
Also,
Or whatever,
chat,
like so Lee can hear.
everybody, Lee, who's still in the chat? Let's get a oh, I don't think there's anybody. I think everybody
Roll
left.
call.
Lee, look at the posters behind the door and not even. They're
I'm
not
aware
even.
Will
of that.
you-
Oh, you are aware.
Just
I'm aware.
cut this. Just stop.
They're not. The posters aren't.
Leave Leo alone.
No,
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone!
have you got like an OCD thing and like it annoys you? Is
Hashtag
that
free
why?
Britney.
I mean, I just try to keep forgetting it, but yeah, like when things,
Oh.
like when certain things aren't even, it's so, like I'm so weird. Like it could be such random things. Like for example, my monitors are not lined up. For one, they're not the same size, but there's no lineup whatsoever. But that's because with having the other one higher, I can open my laptop up without having to worry about like
Not
hitting
gonna.
the screen. I can
Yeah,
push it
yeah.
back a little bit and angle it the way I want. But like certain things, if they're not like lined up when they should be.
We say to watch Leo raise his desk to the ceiling. That's hilarious.
Yeah, let me,
I feel you, Squatch. But
Yeah,
guys,
but I'm not hating on you, Leo. I'm hating on Chris for continually bringing it up because like, I keep forgetting about it.
everyone in the chat,
And then Chris goes up.
are we doing this now?
Are you feeling left out?
yeah.
Don't, Randy. I can't do it.
I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah. I'm
Because
not standing up.
okay, I want to know what your guys' thoughts on the YouTube stream. Red,
I don't like it.
Karate,
Oh,
Lee. Why don't you like it?
I don't know. It's not the same.
I know it's not the
I
same.
don't feel. I'm getting there. Hold your damn horses, man. Let me think.
where did that saying come from? Hold your horses.
Karate.
I don't know why, but I need to know.
She's dying because she yelled because Lee yelled at me.
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead, Lee.
Karate. I would love to hear
feel
your
like
thoughts as well. Red, also Samarias. Who else is here? Joe, if you're here still.
I don't like the chat as much. I was on my phone.
Whoa.
So
There's
it
people
ma-
with feelings in that chat.
No, I don't mean the people. I mean the
Oh.
experience. Okay.
Okay,
I just
okay.
spit again. I'm just gonna spit everywhere. I just switched my liners again, so just please excuse the
No
lisps and
judgment.
The whistles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on my phone. I wasn't on my laptop, so I don't know if maybe it would be different if I was on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Can you
but-
say suckering succotash?
Which way would you like me to say it? The normal way or with the lisp?
The normal way. Which is
No,
with a
I
lisp.
didn't-
Do Rap God real quick.
I don't know that.
Fucking rap god.
Uh,
Just real quick, just wrap.
hold on, let me see if I can do it. I want to see if I can do it.
I found the meaning or
Anyway.
the origins of hold your horses. If anyone
Oh, tell me.
The etymology. Hit me.
comes from the 17th century. When someone broke a law, they would trample them with horses. The person in charge would
Oh,
say,
that got
"Hold you
dark.
horses," and then would tie
Kill
the
that
lawbreaker
person.
onto a piece of wood, lay him on the ground. Then the horses would come and trample him.
Why isn't that saying trample that person with your horses? Like afterwards, hold your horses. Okay, now trample that person. Now kill that person with the horses.
I find that the etymology of phrases is extremely weird.
Love
Like
it.
a lot of them
Yeah.
just like, okay, for instance, balls to the wall or walls, however
Yeah.
you say it, comes from in the, I think it was World War II, the fighter pilots. No, shut up. I'm very aggressive today, okay? My teeth hurt. But they would take the like stick, whatever, that they would use to like put the plane higher in the air. I don't know the terms. I'm sorry, guys. And they would push it all the way to the front to go like up really fast, and that means balls
That's-
to the wall.
That's a good one. I'll try and remember that one. There's one like in England we say it's like cold enough. Well, they say it's brass monkeys. Outside means it's
Brass
cold,
monkey.
and it stands for it's cold enough to freeze the balls off brass monkeys. And what brass monkeys were is they were the railings that you used to put cannonballs on, and on pirate ships when it got too cold they'd like contract and the balls would fall off. So you'd be like, "Fuck me, it's brass monkeys out here." And that's where it comes from.
I know the Beastie Boys song, Brass Monkey. That's about
Yeah,
right.
that's what I was
the,
thinking
yeah,
of.
that's the,
Guys, thank
what
you
I
so
was
much for this amazing insight into the YouTube channel. Really, really appreciate you guys all breaking that down for me. AKA suck a butt.
stuck about.
No, but
I was watching
okay,
your face the
I
whole
didn't get
time.
to
Thank you,
finish my
Scott.
opinion though on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah.
5 minutes later.
I do feel like, hey, you know what? I got interrupted multiple times, Randy.
Yeah, I know, which is why I'm trying to get us an answer.
That's how this pod works, unfortunately.
But so I feel like the chat isn't as intuitive, at least on my phone. But again, I wasn't on the website like on my laptop, so it might be totally different.
Well, I do agree that on like because I watch Doctor Disrespect on my phone a lot, and I hate the chat on YouTube.
I hate it.
On specifically on mobile,
my
I
phone.
always turn it off.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just like it just doesn't. And like if I like put it like in portrait mode or whatever, like
Then
the
it's
chat
like on top of
blocks,
the video.
yeah, blocks the video, and I can't see anything. So I do feel
Yeah.
that, but that's a really good point.
It's fine on
But
website. It's just like
otherwise-
Twitch.
Yeah. Otherwise, like, I'm way more familiar with using YouTube as like a user than I am with Twitch, and I'm not like a big gamer. Like, I don't watch a bunch of people stream all the time, so I feel like it might be easier for people to find you guys this way and
That's
watch you.
yeah, I 100%
do like
agree
the
with that.
5-minute thing where they have to be subscribed for at least 5 minutes before they can start in the chat, because
Yeah.
otherwise we get those stupid idiots who are always jumping in and saying
Stupid
ridiculous
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But,
really quick,
but I
Red
do feel
said.
like-
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I do feel like Twitch is a very big place for gamers, so obviously that's where a lot of people go to watch this kind of stuff. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like where are people going to go if they don't go to Twitch?
Let's just catch up in the chat because I do want to tell you my thoughts.
Yeah.
I like the thought of YouTube could become more accessible to the channel based off the algorithm thing. It's new and not really similar to Twitch, but Twitch is a cesspool of salt and thoughts. They got rid of Doc, as Jack Slater would say, big mistake. I don't mind the chat and do like to be the 5 minutes to be able to chat. That,
Yeah.
I like that too. Book said, eventually I feel everyone will go to either YouTube or some alternative to Twitch. Randy, respect, wabad. I feel the same, Book.
I
Which
like
has
the way
made
you
s-
read that. That was
Yeah.
great.
Twitch is so much so. Listen, so this is exactly what I'm talking about, and this is like because jokes aside, like right as we were about to start the stream, Leo brought up a really good point of like specifically the podcast on Thursdays has been doing pretty well, where we average like we've been getting like 10 to 15 viewers on Twitch, right? Like my gaming streams don't pull the same numbers for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know why that is. Maybe because I suck. But like, oh no, I like this better. yeah, it's really hard to grow organically on Twitch. Like the only way to grow on Twitch is to like promote your stuff on like other social medias and stuff like that, like TikTok, Instagram.
Hot tub stuff as well.
But also
Yeah,
Twitch like it doesn't integrate with other things as well. Like with YouTube, you can like share things like you can now post those like stories.
Yeah, the
videos.
shorts.
I don't know what they're called. The vertical one. So I feel like YouTube is doing a really good job of keeping up with other social media and being able to integrate with it, whereas Twitch is kind of like just doing their own thing. And
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and I have been posting
know.
like my little comedy clips to the gaming channel on YouTube as well. And I feel like with streaming here, we might be able to grow the Super Average gaming channel a bit more directly on YouTube, you know. But like, we only lift up around here, Randy. I don't know what that's referring to. I like you, and I don't have my emotes from Twitch.
As in, like,
So bro
we're
arms.
only like it's positive.
Oh, because I said I suck.
Yeah.
No, I don't suck. I'm fucking great. Let's be honest. I think YouTube is shaking the cages with some of those big moves that can actually drive competition between Twitch. Yeah, I guess the other thing is like I can't. I don't know how I can monetize on Twitch. Not that that's like the goal right now, but I know like I can make some money on Twitch right now. Like I don't know how to make money on YouTube at the moment, but that's
Yeah.
a whole nother thing.
ads.
Yeah, I don't think I'm like the channel isn't big enough to like
To get ads.
to get ads. So I don't know. It's just like I think I'm just like testing the waters a little bit because again, like Leo said earlier, we did have like a nice little thing going on Twitch, but I don't know.
But also, if it's like a toxic place,
It
and
is.
seems to be becoming more and more toxic. I mean, I had a good experience streaming, but I literally had 5 people ish watching me, and 2 of them were you and Angela, who are basically my family, and then the other 2 were my childhood best friend and her boyfriend, who are also basically family. And then I think, was it Red who was watching? Someone else was watching. but
Well,
someone-
Red was there, Laz was
Red and
there,
Karate, yeah.
like
But
yeah,
it's
Karate was there.
People from our group, you know. I feel like, especially as a woman, let's just jump straight into that, right? Yes, I might get more viewers because I'm a woman playing video games, and that's not as big of a thing, like just generally in the industry.
Sure.
But it also means I'm gonna have to deal with way more harassment and bullshit and like
Facts.
toxicity. Let's be honest.
Facts.
Yeah.
So it's like if Twitch just already has that culture, I feel
Yeah.
like people should
Yeah.
support it as much.
So Boog also
my
said,
two
"Glad you're moving to YouTube because I can see the end," and I think she's referring to Twitch. And like I feel that also. I think the main reason why I'm like I think we should make this a permanent switch moving forward is because I think it'll be easier to grow on YouTube as opposed to like growing organically on Twitch. And it's fucking hard to grow on Twitch, regardless of gender, regardless of whatever game you're playing, unless you're doing these. I'm not gonna go down that route, but I don't know. Like, yeah. Also, yeah, Lee, your chat or your stream the other night was fucking dope. You did a great job. So
Thank
I'll say
you.
that.
I had a lot of fun. I was really nervous at the
You're a
beginning.
natural on being on camera in front of the mic and giving you and like speaking. So, unlike Chris, who has an accent, it's fucking weird.
I think it comes
He's
from
from
a lot of,
London.
like, it comes from like 12 years of ballet, and while you're not talking necessarily
Yeah,
or like
you got kicked out of ballet for talking too much.
Yeah.
You're like,
no,
while you're
but
spinning.
like you're literally going on stage in front of
And
like
this is how
thousands
I
of people
spin.
like 7 nights a week. You know
This
what
is
I
my
mean? So
speed
it's
run
like,
spin.
Let me just
Plie.
throw up all over you afterwards.
But yeah, again,
Roddy, I also want to give you a hug.
nice.
I had to answer.
Again, I think we're gonna keep testing out this YouTube stream stuff, see how it goes. I mean, obviously Twitch is still open; it's still an option. It's not like it's going away anytime soon. So yeah,
Should I try to stream on YouTube instead of on Twitch next time I'm trying?
I don't know.
how to
See,
do
this is
that.
the thing. Like, and all the things that I've heard about, like, should I stream on YouTube? Should I stream on Twitch? It's really like up to the individual what they want to do and how they want to go about it. Like, I don't know if there's an advantage right now to streaming on one or the other. All I can say for sure personally, when I streamed last night, I was like, I'm having a blast. I haven't had a blast streaming as much, even though not a lot of people there. We didn't play for a long time. It was just a good time. It was super chill. I didn't have to worry about fucking
Oh, fucking trolls.
trolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And you were streaming on YouTube last night, right?
yeah,
Yeah. You want to help me set it up?
You know what's funny?
I could. It's
Like,
pretty
I
easy.
have-
Chris
I
has to
have
go.
I have the YouTube Premium, so if I click the button on my, if I turn off the screen,
I want
the
premium.
audio plays in the background. And last night we were cooking. I was like, oh shit, I need to tell something to Lee. So I closed my phone and put it down, and then I still hear your voice. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was really confused.
Oh.
Just because I was watching it on YouTube.
I'm sorry. I think Chris needs to head out.
Yeah, I gotta go. I also just found out that I got refunded for an eBay lens that got stolen in packaging. I had to like file a long claim.
Oh, that's annoying as shit.
At one point,
Oh,
it looked like I was
oh.
gonna lose.
Speaking of eBay stuff, I bought what did I buy, Leo? What was the thing called? I didn't even know what it's called.
Oh, you bought a DJ, essentially a board. You bought it's called a DDJ, but essentially
Turntables. I bought turntables.
turntables and a mixer all built in together. So he has a whole little one.
I can tell
all in
you're
one
gonna be
Are you
good
gonna
at
start
it.
DJing
Yeah.
also?
You don't know what they're called.
Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun.
Spinny disc things. All
All right, Chris. Have a good night,
I gotta
brother.
go. And thanks for
Bye,
everyone in the
Chris.
chat.
Talk
It's
to you tomorrow,
fun.
man. Peace.
Speak soon. Bye.
Uh,
Can't find the hang up button.
It's on the bottom right.
Bye.
So chat.
Ah, so many confirmations.
Chat, I think, yeah, I don't know. I think the next stream will definitely be on YouTube as well. Karate said, Lee, if you're starting out, she say start on YouTube. I'll try messing with YouTube to see how it feels, but my big focus just needs to be consistency. Yeah, dude, that's a huge thing as well. But I don't know, man. Corey, your stream is doing really well on Twitch, so I feel like you're doing.
See, you say that, and like it's not doing terrible, but it's not like super great. I mean, I feel like I'm averaging less than what we've been doing here. Although I don't see the average numbers because you have control. of
Whenever
that.
I hop on,
Yeah.
you always have at least.
Yeah, you have like 10, 15 viewers. I always see people there.
Okay, so like for I didn't stream for 3 weeks because of vacation and then just other shit. But so for example, today I averaged.
These headphones get in the way. Do my teeth look straighter?
Leo's
Yes.
camera quality is really bad, so I could barely see.
That's okay.
Why is it so
8.5.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know why
The
it's so
best
bad,
I've
Leo.
done recently is 11. 11.
That's great. Twitch ebbs and flows. I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. But for now, there's nobody to raid, so YouTube doesn't have a raid
Are you
option.
on YouTube?
No, that you can't. That I know of. Right, Samarias? I don't know if he's still here.
Some good days.
But yeah, like we peaked at 9 viewers here. I think
Thanks, Red.
shiny and bright white. Lee, that's awesome.
I've been using charcoal toothpaste like 4 times a day.
Oh, I heard that's like
So-
really good for your teeth.
It is, but don't wear white while using it.
After Labor Day?
No, just while using charcoal toothpaste.
Why?
Because when you're brushing and it splatters black shit all over your white shirt,
Oh.
it's very noticeable.
Nice.
I take off my shirt when I'm brushing, period, because
Oops, did I forget
too
to?
many
See,
times.
I'm a woman in a public bathroom and cannot
Oh.
do that.
Don't
Yeah.
do
Take
that.
off my shirt
yeah.
while I'm brushing on my period.
Leo, you should leave immediately. Yo, the chat popped off tonight.
Immediately.
Um,
And then there's me chugging coffee with my brown teeth.
yeah, I'm gonna
I
work.
also chug coffee, but then I
Coffee
use
with brown
charcoal toothpaste, and
Nice.
it
Guys, again, I really do appreciate having you all here as I am slowly stalling to start the music.
Wait, you didn't play the song.
I'm not gonna play it tonight because I'm too tired. Today was a long day. I'm so sorry. The sink takes forever to clean. The sink of charcoal. Oh, nice. What are we at?
very true.
So yeah, guys.
Very annoying.
Again, I appreciate you all for being here. If you could, really quick, if you haven't yet, please like the video on YouTube because apparently that helps. The chat popped off tonight. I fucking love it. The podcast will be released on Sunday. For now, stay safe. I love you. Don't forget to play music. Drink water. Do things. Where's OBS? All right, guys. Peace.